man, I really am super excited about the next Travolting development when we finally cover Michael. I love that movie. I still don't know why. I just love that movie. Oh, Justin, what up, man? Oh, shit.
That's what you get for making me watch The Fanatic, you son of a bitch.
Oh, man. Goodness. Well, I guess I had that one coming. Frank? Why are you here? And why the fuck do you have a ukulele?
You can do an impression of the floor now, fucker.
Nighty-night, asshole. Now hit the music. It's time for a crossover.
We know why we're here. Quicker than I thought we would be.
Wish I had some Pepsi Blue right now.
But I just said word.
He doesn't just break the fourth wall, he fucking nukes it.
He went deep for that bit. Irresponsibly high.
Coming in with the hot takes. Fuck, I'm literally searching it. That's crazy.
All I had to do was say it, now I got two of them in my face.
This is the most 90s movie ever to 90.
Check it out, buy something cool.
Where he says the girls are nice and they have big titties.
I mean, that pretty much describes the show, doesn't it?
That's right. Always lovely to see him and stuff.
He's done good things.
Welcome to Travolting Develop Cage.
He's recording now.
Are we recording now? Yeah, we are.
Now we are, yeah.
All right. Speaking of that, I would like to know, wow, every impression that Cannon does turns out to be Canadian in the end.
We're going right for it, aren't we?
Yes.
Right for
Well, he did just hit you with a guitar.
Yeah. No, a ukulele.
Oh, that's right. It was a uke.
I mean,
You broke the guitar. You left me only the...
I mean, it makes sense with the Hawaiian shirt, I guess.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
Just swinging with the ukes. Ow. I'm still kind of tendy after that one.
Well, now you know how
You did have it coming.
Yeah. I mean, I did have it coming. Twice. So, you know what? Not even mad about it anymore.
Because Cannon said, don't put your dukes up, put your ukes up.
Put your ukes up. Fucking shirt. Oh,
I'm
my
gonna put that on
God.
the list.
I swear,
going
Pat's been fucking rapid fire with these bits tonight.
Is that gonna be an image of me in my Hawaiian shirt swinging a uke?
I mean, that's not a bad
Like you're
idea.
gonna have an exploding sailboat and then all like musty with blood.
I want some explosions after the movie we just watched. Something's
sure.
got to explode on the shirt.
Everything has to explode.
Well, you guys did see the new shirt that I put up.
I did.
We actually sold one already.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. The right to bear arms?
The right to bear arms.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Which is merch design that you can find on tpublic.com/user/Caging Greatness. We want to welcome everybody to this special episode of Travolting Cage Develop Greatness Mint.
Yes. This is the crossover no one has been waiting for.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we've been waiting for it.
We have. I have. I'm excited for this.
And because he was kind of grumpy about it, we have a special guest. But let's get the regular introductions first, because the four of us are far more important than any guests that show up. So,
yeah, we're here every week, not like this so-and-so.
That's right. We put the time in.
Like it.
What?
We are more important than any guest that shows up.
I'm kidding.
I'm going to put that out there right now.
Especially if I'm talking
I was
to the
made
mic.
to think that it was a special invitation for me to show up today.
Well, you did say, are you recording tonight? I'm going to come kick Cannon's ass.
I did say
that message did get relayed to me. Apparently, my ass is getting kicked.
But you invited me afterwards.
I mean, you sort of invited yourself. I was worried if we didn't put you on the show, you might show up and hit Cannon. You did that anyway.
But how many people's asses at home are going to get kicked when they play Which One's Frank game? The podcast edition.
It's probably a good thing.
Was that Frank? Was that me? No one knows.
because today we're not talking about Face Off. We're talking about Sound Off.
I'm talking about Frank off.
Yeah.
It's a
He's going
Frank
to do a
off.
Cannon impression.
I'll allow it.
I don't do impressions. No.
Anyway,
No.
here we are.
Yes.
Special episode. And as always, my wonderful co-hosts who just came back from a please insert something funny here. I didn't come up with anything. So just everybody at home pretend that I made a really funny, punny joke about something pop culture-y.
Well, Jim, you can always just leave the space blank and then edit in you saying a joke when you think of one.
I could, but I'm really lazy, and this is easier.
I mean, we did just come back from somewhere.
I mean, yeah, literally, we've been gone all weekend.
Yeah. I mean, you guys
Just
are,
back from Hoover, Alabama.
Whew, what a
for the-
drive.
For our first post-vaccination convention.
That's right. But yes, this is Travolting Cage Greatness Developmentness Caging Travolt.
I'm ready for that shirt.
Yeah, no, I actually have a couple ideas for it. And today, clearly, since it is a mixture of the two, we are talking about, and also because we said it last week, we're talking about Face Off.
Yes.
That's right.
It's time. It's finally arrived.
I could eat a gorilla
finally
grip peach for hours.
God, fucking,
Yes, high five me. Yes, high five the shit out
I've
of
been
me.
sitting on that bit for 5 fucking minutes.
That
son
was
of a
gold.
bitch.
I don't care what anybody thinks.
I didn't say it. I didn't say the word.
We're working around the censors today.
Oh,
damn
man. Beautiful.
Fuck you, FCC. You can't stop me.
Fucking beautiful.
well, my co-host, as always, we have Jonathan, who makes my blood pressure shoot up. Cannon. Yeah. Pat.
Oh, it's me, all right.
And our special guest, a friend of the show who isn't friend of the show, Joe.
Yeah.
But our special guest, Postman Frank. Hello, Frank.
Hello.
It's good to have you on the show.
It's good to be on.
Yeah, you're going to want to talk
I
into your
was
mic a
hoping
little bit
maybe
better.
with me on, I wouldn't become a bit like I have been the last couple of episodes, but it's already gone.
Yeah, no,
I thought
you're
we
actually
shot
you're
down.
more of a bit now.
I'm just here to cement my bitness in the show.
Welcome to the bit.
Yeah, well, I mean that's how it goes.
I did make a snarky comment on his Facebook post
Yeah,
a couple weeks ago, so I kind of asked for it, so I can't really fault him for making me a bit.
Wait, what was the post again?
When you posted the link to the episode about Raising Arizona,
Yes.
where you guys refused to talk about Raising
Oh,
Arizona.
yeah.
So I made this post. I made the comment. I loved your episode. When are you going to do an episode on Raising Arizona?
I mean, to be fair, you're not wrong. We talked about that movie for like maybe 15 minutes. I'm not going to argue that at all.
yes, it was totally me being a smartass, and I totally deserve being, having it come back around and bite me in the ass like that.
Yeah,
Justin,
you're not
Justin, which one is talking? Is it Cannon or Frank?
I'm going to punch you in the dick.
Okay. I will not do the bit. How about that?
I mean,
Oh, that's
Do the bit,
fine.
do the
Do
bit, do the
the
yeah,
bit.
I don't care.
It probably would be better when I'm
I
not here.
legitimately thought it was funny, but if it's hurting people's feelings, I won't do the bit. Is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Well, it's giving me fuel to text Justin during the day as I'm listening to the episode at work.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Get him so good.
to be fair, our friend Emilio, who does not listen to the show,
Yes.
I did let him hear your Frank impression, and he fucking loved it. He thought it was great. He thought it was fantastic. He laughed for like a solid 5 minutes.
Well, the thing is, it's really good in short bursts.
Yeah.
But if you do it for a longer period of time, for some reason, I become
Yeah.
Chris Farley.
It morphs into something else if I stay on.
I become Chris Farley as a Canadian for some reason.
Yeah. I can see that. I can hear that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I feels you. Ja feels.
Ja Rule?
But what does Ja think?
Murder.
Firefest went off without a hitch.
Did not sign on for Too Fast, Too Furious, and look at him now.
Mhm.
50 Cent buying like 50 rows of his like concert tickets just to be like, nobody's coming.
And now Ludacris is the rising extremely fast in the action hero game.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's no LL Cool J, but who could be?
It's a tall order.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a very tall man.
He is.
Is he tall?
I mean, he's a very big man.
He's wide. He's wide as shit. He's like Jesus buff, right?
He's bigger than the guy who played Robin on they did co-stars with on CSI.
Yeah, like
O'Donnell.
Like when his mama said knock him out, he did not take that shit lightly. He was like, all right, I'm gonna knock everybody out. Just bleh. So Face Off.
Yeah, Face Off. Hello, Cool not in that movie. He's sweet.
That would have been pretty sweet. Okay, so
would it be too sweet? There were a couple of surprises in that movie. I didn't know.
Yeah,
I did not know Thomas Jane was in that.
Yeah, no, that was just quick. So let's do like we always do. Air too sweet. There you go, Ken. We'll go around the table, and we'll give our quick thoughts and a rating because we want people to get to the good stuff. We want them to know what we think before we start talking about the movie.
Yes,
because everybody else. Shut up, Frank. Everybody else. Frank. That's how you sound. Like
talking about the fucking movie. What the hell?
We want to put the good stuff up front because we still get the view number for like the first 20 minutes. So,
yeah, on track.
Right. So, Jonathan, my friend, what did you think of Nicolas Cage and John Travolta in Face Off? And what was your rating in star form?
I fucking love this movie. It's dumb as shit, like Con Air, like most of all the movies we talked about, except maybe like
Lord of War,
that one,
and Raising Arizona.
I don't know that one.
Did you guys watch Raising Arizona?
Yes, it was fantastic.
Hey, you know what? Fuck you, Frank. It's not your turn right now.
Hey, Frank, if you had Letterboxd, you would know how it felt. How about that?
Yeah.
With the times, man.
Hashtag get Frank a Letterboxd.
I mean, to be fair, he listened.
Is a thing on your smartphone.
Well, the bad thing is he listened to the show on that episode. He still didn't know what we thought about it. That's probably that's very true. Some sort of a condemnation of us.
I mean, we at least told the world our star rating on Raising Arizona.
Yeah, we did talk about it a bit.
I think you talked much about Raising Arizona your last episode as you did the Raising Arizona.
Well, the problem is, and this is something I've noticed, then we'll get to the star ratings real quick, but something I've noticed is that for movies like Raising Arizona that are very, very good, with a lot of good parts, but it just doesn't invite a lot of deep discussion.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to talk about when it's like, oh yeah, this movie's pretty good.
Yeah,
and I mean that's basically all you have.
Because with Lord of War, there was a lot to talk about with socioeconomic issues, the acting,
geopolitics.
Yeah, there's so much stuff, and with like the shitty movies, we'll talk about those all goddamn day. Jiu-Jitsu, we talked about that movie most of that episode because it was dog shit.
It's the most on brand we've been for a show.
I mean that is a good point. The more ridiculous garbage parts in the movie, the more stuff you have to talk about it. Like, why the fuck does this exist?
Yeah,
I'm starting a petition for all of Hollywood, just all of Hollywood, to get Tony Jaa better roles.
Yeah, that'd be nice. To be fair, he's the one who disappeared for like 5 years after Ong Bak 2 and then just didn't show up. So
he's probably been having his own adventures.
There was a sequel to Ong Bak.
Ong Bak.
I know what you're talking about. I was being
but yeah, like some of these movies is just hard to talk about.
Yeah,
and Con Air, once we got to it, we talked about it for like the full fucking hour. Yeah. So it was just crazy. We just got sidetracked in the beginning.
Because, the Con Air episode is the best of both worlds. If you like the freeform banter, that's the first hour. If you like on the ball movie sort of analysis, that's the second hour.
Right. I think we'll be in a good spot when we take that formula and just flip it
around.
Yeah, just do a little flippy foo.
Yeah, see, the banter is
Flippity
the
doo-dah.
PS, the postscript.
Right, just a little flippity doo dah.
It's like we're still new. We're still ironing out the kinks.
Yeah, we've only been here for like 4 months doing this. Bob, you ass. So into the reviews, Jonathan. What did you think? Like you loved it? What did you rate it? What was your one sentence takeaway?
Quotable as all fuck. I mean, there's so many quotes in this movie, but my star rating, 4 out of 5.
Nice.
Solid 8 out of 10.
All right. Cannon, how about you?
Also, another film that I have grown up with and have watched many, many times. This has been the first time in a long time that I'd seen it. And if I do remember correctly now, this will be the first time I have actually seen it in the the widescreen format, because I remember in my brain there were just certain cuts where like the camera would just shift as opposed to just having a wide shot there. And I must say, this still doesn't disappoint. I'm hearing myself again. I hate it. I'm sorry. But you remember on the Con Air episode when I said we might have a problem if I gave a certain movie a certain star rating?
I do recall that, yes.
Yes. Well, this movie is bananas and all the fun anyone could ask for in an action movie. It's just 90s fucking bliss all wrapped in a tight little package. It's getting a fucking 5.
Oh, wow.
I love this movie.
Okay.
Everything explodes.
Okay.
Literally everything explodes.
Yeah, and we're going to get into that because there's a lot of shit, and I made notes. There's a lot of shit. There's no reason it should have fucking exploded, but it did.
Like all those boats.
The boats, I at least understand. There's gas and shit, but like the medical cabinets full of metal instruments.
You guys are very young. You don't realize how flammable everything was in the 90s.
Everything was made of asbestos.
I lived in the 90s. I don't remember it going boom. Patrick.
Oh, yes, that's me.
So right now, we're sitting at a 4 and a 5.
Yep.
Was that right, John? You said 4? 4. What did you give it, Pat?
Well,
what did you think of Face Off?
I did want to say I was definitely probably a unique experience. This was my very first time seeing the movie.
Really?
It was first time. My little cherry eyes were seeing this for my first experience, and it was a hoot and a holler because, good gracious, with it just explosions and madcap 90 bullshit, and I love how everyone gave it their damnedest, and they didn't give one single solitary fuck. I give it 4.5.
Really? Okay, well that's going to make this real interesting because Frank, just to let you know, for Caging Greatness, we only count our reviews for the actual averages because if we put yours in there, that'll throw off the numbers.
Sure,
But
before we have put his in there before, though.
Did we? Did we count?
I did
put it on Broken Arrow.
Yeah, but this is all like for Cage movies. We're going by what's the highest rated Cage movie.
Oh, okay,
yeah. But still, Frank, we want to know what you thought.
Yes.
So what did you think?
Well, it's been probably 15 years since I saw this movie. And pretty much everything I remember except more ridiculous. Because I'm actually paying attention as an actual adult watching the movie instead of just going to the movie theater to watch some stuff explode.
Right.
The cheese level, fantastic, 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
The everything that gets touched explodes, 10 out of 10.
Nice.
The absolute peak 90s John Woo movie. I'm going to give it 4.5 because
nice.
I love this movie.
Yeah.
The ridiculousness of this movie. The overacting of both Cage and Travolta. Swapping them back and forth. Travolta being Cage. Cage being Travolta. How can you not love that?
Cage being Travolta pretending to be Cage.
Yes.
It's multi-layered. It's good
and
stuff.
And the face-off on so many levels.
Right?
It's like an ogre. It has layers.
Took the face off.
Oh, because I'm like onions.
They're facing each other. They faced each other against mirrors, facing each other themselves, shooting the other one because they're wearing each other's faces. Oh my God!
Face
so much meta.
Like there's so much to think about. Like, it's a stupid action movie, but if you go back and ponder on it, there's just like little layers of storytelling that make sense. It's deep. It's deep, Pat. Don't you giggle at me.
No, it's for a second there. It sounded like when you sit and pogger on it. And that's what made me.
God damn it! Fucking.
Can I get a poggers in chat for Face Off?
What is it with the P words and you
know.
people?
I said it. I don't even know what it is.
So in chat if you like Face Off.
There's no chat. We don't have a chat.
We have a chat that no one else has access to.
Well, you don't have an imagination because it's right there.
Right, you pointed to the wall. It's an empty wall.
Right there. I see chat.
That's water that's leaking into your basement.
I see chat.
Okay.
We're recording live from the soggiest basement in the world.
It is pretty drippy and not in the good modern way.
No.
So
It's like, oh, he understands drip, but he doesn't understand poggers. Hypocrite now on.
So we got a 4 with Jonathan. We got a 5 with Cannon.
Cheers.
We got a 4.5 with Pat. So that means if I rate this a 5, it's the highest rated Cage movie. Well, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I didn't. I didn't. I adore this movie. This was fantastic. It really was. It was just completely ridiculous. But when comparing it to Con Air, to me, it's not as good as for like a big brainless action, because I know they weren't going for that, but Con Air is more fun to me. But this is where it gets sticky, because I did give it a 4.5, which according to my quick maths means it's a fucking tie.
An actual tie between that
and Con Air. Because Pat gave Con Air a 4, I gave it a 5, but now he and I both gave this one 4.5.
So not only is it going to be for my sake, it's going to be for the podcast's sake. We're going to have an episode where we
face off.
We have to have a winner. There can be only one.
We have to have a debate. We have to have a neutral judge. I volunteer Frank to be the judge.
Let's make it this episode then. We can talk about Face Off, and at the end of our arguments, Frank can decide.
Okay, I'm Team Face Off.
Or we can just find out what he gives Con Air and then factor that into the rankings too. But that's the easy way. That's not the fun way. Have you seen Con Air recently?
Not recently, but probably within the last 5 years I've seen it.
I still feel like that needs to be its own episode.
I mean, we could make it its own episode.
We can definitely talk about it.
I mean,
it's an evolving idea.
Considering how we just throw shit against the wall, regardless of whether it sticks or not, why not?
Yeah, sure. Fuck it.
But
I can definitely tell you where it ranks in my Nicolas Cage.
Okay, well, just for a quick idea, what would you give Con Air out of 5?
I absolutely love Con Air. As you said, it's like the perfect 90s action movie.
Mm.
There are one-liners. There's
that Alabama accent.
There's ridiculous fights. The Alabama accent. the fucking guy out of the plane crashing into the car.
Mm-hmm.
The car going through the freaking building, being pulled by the... Oh, it's just awesome. Mm-hmm. It's a 5 to me.
Well, see, by the Frank rating system, Con Air wins.
Plus, look at who's in Con Air.
But, like, you say Con Air has one-liners, which it does.
Yeah.
It does not have face-off one-liners. I mean, you can't beat... You better pull the trigger, because I don't give a fuck.
Oh, I love that line.
I'm ready.
I'm just saying...
I'm going to eat... I can eat a peach for hours. I still don't know what the fuck that means. Does that mean cunnilingus? Who knows?
Which is something...
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it means.
Yeah. Hey, now, heroes don't do that, according to DC Comics.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm calling it now headcanon. Fucking Batman is not DJ Khaled.
Yes.
So...
And he eats Catwoman like he's starving.
Yeah, Batman doesn't eat pussy, he eats ass.
And here we go.
All right,
he eat that booty like groceries.
Right. Let's start.
All right.
I know what's getting edited out of this episode.
Oh, no, we're going to keep it in.
Because we're in and out.
Right.
Wait, I thought he was in jail.
Yeah, he escaped just like Nicolas Cage in Face Off.
You can't keep me.
Speaking of that, I just want to point out, he's an FBI agent escaping from prison, responsible for multiple deaths of federal employees.
Hey, now
he escaped. He didn't
kill any of those guys.
One in the face, but he's responsible for a lot of them getting shot in the face.
Just because the other guy he escaped with had a gun and shot many of them, and then others got beaten to death by other prisoners. The idea is those guards were shitheads, and they had it coming. Well, I mean, they didn't, but that's the idea they're going for.
Yeah, I totally got that.
Like, you
there was one that was kind of a douche.
Oh, there were a couple.
I did like his line early in that the prison scene where he says, "When I get out of here, I'm gonna get you fired."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was funny as fuck.
I mean, I would assume that a prison where quote unquote the Geneva Convention doesn't exist, There'd be a lot of shitheads working there, probably.
Yeah, probably so. Probably so.
Which is a dubious
But,
line.
let's talk about a little bit of the beginning of the film.
You mean Cage's porn stash, and then he shoots a fucking kid in the first 45 seconds?
Yes.
Yeah.
I forget how much of this movie I remember from the first 15 minutes.
Like, if you thought shit hit the fan in Con Air real quick, no. It hit even faster. It hit so fast that it jumped 6 years into the fucking future.
Yeah, I mean, there's a kid death before anybody says a word in this movie.
Yep.
That is very true. And whoever the fucking composer was for this movie, they just told him, any scene you're in, go to 11.
I'm going to put the fucking music in this movie up with the Tarzan soundtrack.
The Phil Collins one?
Disney Tarzan soundtrack?
I mean, honestly,
come on. This film's fucking score went super goddamn hard. The music was fire as shit in this fucking movie. I loved it. I can't be alone here.
I'm with you.
Okay, so it was composed.
I mean, it's no John Williams, but
it's composed by John Powell, who is also responsible for Ants, the Woody Allen ripoff of A Bug's Life, The Road to El Dorado.
Now, El Dorado, that soundtrack slaps.
Chicken Run.
I forgot that movie existed.
This is an interesting collection.
Until a month ago.
Robots.
They're making a sequel to Chicken Run.
Yeah,
they're making a sequel to Chicken Run.
Robin Williams, the animated robots. He did the robots. Ice Age 2 and 3. The Happy Feet films.
He just does DreamWorks movies?
The first two Kung Fu Pandas.
Yeah, DreamWorks.
The whole How to Train Your Dragon trilogy.
Those are good movies.
And Dr. Seuss's The Lorax.
Not a good movie.
So
Ferdinand.
So he's still working, is what we're hearing.
So his body of work is animated features and then Face Off.
I have also left out a couple of pretty crazy ones, including, and this is really going to appeal to you, Jonathan, being a youngster, for the memes.
All right, let's hear it.
First he scored the Bourne series.
Okay.
And the first Shrek.
Hell yeah.
Talk about layers.
This guy, talk about range.
Mm-hmm.
And by range, mostly animated movies.
Yes. I mean, all those movies probably did pretty solid bank, so he's not...
Granted, there are parts of the soundtrack that reminded me of The Lion King.
Well, he was nominated for an Oscar for the How to Train Your Dragon ones for soundtrack.
That's
Those
probably
movies are pretty good.
Probably some of the best DreamWorks pictures.
Point being, the music was great.
Yeah, music's fantastic. So, kid dies immediately. Nicolas Cage as the bad Nicolas Cage, heel Cage, Castor
Troy.
The fucking names in these movies.
Actually, that's a good point. I want to bring up the names because there's Castor Troy, Castor and Pollux. It's Gemini.
Yeah,
it's
the Greek myth of the twin brothers.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty fun.
It's almost as good as John Milton and Drive Angry.
I'm still fucked up over that. I turned to Justin halfway through that movie. I'm like, no, they're not.
Yep.
And he looked me dead in my soul and just said yes.
They sure are.
More over the top goof ass movies need to have their characters named out of classic literature.
Okay, I'm going to make a shrimping story, and it's going to be Moby Dick. But it's going to be a giant shrimp. It's going to be a giant crawdad that's going after.
Do you know I had
this crawdad took out my bro named Jim Bob.
So it's starring Forrest Gump.
Yeah. Well, you know, I had an uncle who worked on a shrimp boat. Really? He got really tired all the time because it's hard work on a boat. And he would come in, visit when I was visiting my grandparents. He'd walk in. He'd just look at me sometimes and go, "Justin,
there we go.
Shrimping ain't easy."
Well, good night, everybody.
Yeah, I made all that shit up. I like that joke. Fuck you.
Boo, you stink.
Fuck you. That was funny.
Your jokes are bad and you should feel bad.
Anyway, Sean Archer's child is dead, and then we zoom 6 years later, where Archer has been just on the case. You can tell by the stubble on his face that he's been hard at work for 6 solid years.
And the fact he keeps
screaming at everybody.
Yeah, he's a shithead to work for.
He's
like I was
pretty big stick in the mud.
I was
That's
waiting
also up his ass. That's the mud. It's not really mud.
I was waiting on one of those other guys to be like, "Look, we get it. Your kid died. Fuck you. Stop talking to us like that." But they didn't.
You're fired. But I'm dead. How are you still talking? Shit. You're fired. Beep, beep. Oh, fuck.
But how about that plane scene?
That plane scene, like I said, Con Air, it takes a minute. I feel like we are like at the airport, plane going down the runway before Nick Cage even like murders that dude accidentally in Con Air. Like that shit is popping off fast and fucking hard, right?
I mean, the credits aren't even over. Fucking Nick Cage just starts clapping, doing the death windmill with his no hair, and then like sexually harasses a choir
I did think it was
a child. That was a child. That was a fucking kid.
And then he made the most ridiculous face. Like he just instantly
that very famous meme face.
So many memes have spawned from this fucking movie.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
I was just sort of like,
Con Air doesn't have that ability.
What the hell are you saying? There's like 4 Con Air meme gifs of the hair and the wink. How dare you?
Also, you notice in that scene when Castor Troy. This is going to get really confusing, especially when the faces get swapped.
Well, no, we'll just keep using the proper names because it's still Castor Troy. But,
when Nick Cage gets out of his car in like super slow motion, I found it also really funny that all of his brother and his henchmen, they were all moving in real time, but the whole fucking shot, Nick Cage is in slow mo, and it's like he's a sleazeball, but look at this cool motherfucker with his gold dual pistols with the flyest fucking suit I've ever seen.
That's what the kids call drip.
Yeah. Like, oh my god! It in the wind and shit.
Like Castor Troy invented drip. Y'all kids don't know shit about shit. Pull up your pants.
I think
that is when Cannon turned into a boomer.
I think Cannon and Frank actually did swap.
So they get in a plane and they're trying to leave, but they can't leave because the FBI knows where they are. And so John Travolta's playing chicken in a jet.
Somebody undercover.
Right, on the plane, who gets shot and then thrown into a brutal death scene underneath the wheels of the plane.
I can eat an entire peach for hours.
Yeah. Nicolas Cage is being sleazy.
Yes.
You're terrible
in the movie.
dude.
For the first time I ever in the history of my knowledge watching film that I've heard somebody say, "Hey, if I let you suck my tongue, would you be grateful?" Just sleep. He is just greasy in this movie.
Yeah, I don't like that phrase.
And then the woman just immediately goes for it. And I'm like,
has to stay in cover.
Yeah,
at first I was like, Jesus, lady, that was real quick. And then it was like, oh, she's an undercover cop. That makes sense.
Also, I'm sorry.
Then she's an under the wheels cop.
I'm gonna say I love this movie. I love this. I'm still going to be that nitpicky asshole. There's no fucking way that John Travolta saw his fucking cop buddy.
Yeah,
just no way.
Yeah, because
not a chance. Because when the cars come into the plane in that scene, you can't even see it.
No, because the angle's all wrong. You're on the ground in the car, and there's no way he's going to. Oh no, I can see half a mile away into a tiny ass window. He's got a gun to our agent. Oh no, that shit doesn't happen. And then when Nicolas Heel Cage shoots the pilot and drives the plane into the hangar, why does it explode? Like, why are there fireworks? Why does it look like John Malkovich falling through power lines? Like, I don't get why there's sparks everywhere.
And not just like fireworks, but apparently they had just like giant industrial barrels of like paint that are just exploding with sparks and fire, just gooshing.
Everything in that hangar obviously was flammable and wrapped in aluminum foil because everything was shiny and everything exploded anytime they shot their weapons.
Also, I just got one name for you. It's called John Woo.
Like, just get it into
that makes it make everything make sense.
Just let it slip into your brain compartments. Everything explodes. Everything is dripping, sticky wet with sparklers, apparently. everything sparks, everything explodes. There's debris, fire, brimstone, smoldering asses everywhere. It's true. I spotted a smoldering ass. I'm sure we'll get to it later. But before the pilot dies, I just had to mention before we continue, heel Nick Cage, heel Castor Troy gave a fantastic line where he was telling the pilot to fly. And he says, "Fly, bitch!"
So
I don't know why. I just love it.
No, that delivery was good. That was in my notes too.
Yeah.
He was so insistent that this plane take off, even though there's an actual helicopter pressing down on them from above.
It's like, we physically can't, you moron.
It's like, you're not trying hard enough. Pow, blows his brains
I
out.
also wondered why, even when I was young, like why in a movie where like there's squibs galore, and I love a good old fashioned squib.
It's good, right?
It's digital shit any day of the fucking week. But I'm just surprised we didn't get to see the pilot headshot. Like, it happens. You hear it. It's like you see a slight death rattle, but you don't see the actual head explosion.
Well, now that you mention that, the gore level was not super high. You saw shit exploding. You saw people bloody. You saw them launching themselves off the ground when they got shot ridiculously. But you didn't see like a head explode or, the guy got shot in the neck and you didn't even know it because he had his hand on his neck.
And it only started shooting blood when when his wound is away from the camera.
And what's weird is this was an R-rated movie. There's no if it was PG-13, I could see cutting a few scenes like that, but it was R.
Hard R.
But there was
They said a few fucks too.
There was one point, and I have to say it's not part of the movie, but while we're watching it, one of the agents gets his ear shot off, and Pat said one of the funniest goddamn things I've ever heard. Pat just completely nonplussed goes, "He got Van Gogh," and we all died laughing.
It's one of those things where the only reason I'm not laughing is because I'm admiring the craft of that bit.
Anytime someone loses an ear in a movie, I'm going to think of that.
No.
I rewatched the Tyson Holyfield fight
Absolutely.
from then. I'm going to think of that. Like that's hilarious.
I was pretty proud of that one. Something I just said off the cuff.
I do want to mention something about you guys talking about how shitty the Castor Troy character was being. They had to make him the most horrible person on this planet right away because Travolta's character is such an asshole. He had to be the good guy, so they had to make the scale so big that no matter how big an asshole Travolta's character was, Castor was still the worst one.
Like the first thing we've seen Castor Troy do on screen is kill a kid.
It's really hard. Like I don't know if it's for everybody or if it's just a thing with me. Anytime I see Travolta in something, and this isn't just like me saying he's a bad actor. He's a fine actor. It's hard for me to root for him, even if he's the good guy, because he has that vibe of being such a shitlord. Like there's nothing that I've seen him in that I'm like, yeah, that's the good guy. I'm on his side.
Well, he carries this like level of smug that he just cannot get rid of. And it doesn't help that his face is really uncanny. I don't know what it is, but if I look at it straight on, I'm like, ugh.
It's a weird face.
He looks like a Joker without face paint.
It's called plastic surgery, Jonathan.
Well, even at this point, that was mostly his natural face.
Yeah. He has definitely had a lot of work done since then.
Oh, yeah, God, yeah. But like the thing I remembered most vividly from watching this the first time, and I felt it again this time because we're skipping ahead a bit. In the end, when the good guy, Archer, comes home and he's John Travolta again, I felt bad that it wasn't Nicolas Cage playing that. Because the whole time, Nicolas Cage is the good guy, and like he can actually play convincing good guy. I feel like this man is desperately trying to get back to his family.
He did seem the good guy
and
more.
Yeah. And Travolta, you're like, when he's the bad guy, you're like, yeah, no, this is a smarmy piece of shit that I can't wait to see die. And I get that's why they did that, because most of the movie, that's what they want you to do. But it's just so jarring at the end when, the good guy's coming home. It's John Travolta.
Oh, my God. And the way that you knew that it was the good guy, that creepy-ass hand to the face thing. Do it to his family. My God.
We need to talk about this, because there's a thing that this whole family, for some reason, does. And they take their hand and gently run their fingers across the length of somebody else's face.
They go from forehead to chin.
Yeah, and it's fucking weird, and I don't like it.
It's like a fucking like AI or an alien trying to imitate human behavior. It's like, this is what humans do.
Hello, human. It is good to see you. Let me touch your face.
You see, and I don't know when in school I remember this happening, but I do distinctly remember at some point this being a thing at my school, people going up to you and doing the John Travolta hand to the face thing, but just saying, wipe your booty. It was stupid. People did that. I don't know why. I was like, why did you just put your hand in my face? We're about to go to the office because I'm going to hit you in yours.
I mean, we did make the joke that they were just like the reason why they doing that is they're just wiping off whatever like grease or like Cheeto dust they had on there.
They've been picking their nose and
just like
go up to somebody today and do that to them, bud.
That'll get you shot.
My hand smells real weird, don't it?
Well, you just like grab the mask and
so yeah, it's weird and uncomfortable every time.
Yeah, I don't like it one bit.
No.
So it's because like, they could have given this guy any other tell. Be like, oh, this is the thing that he uniquely does that, when they're separated, his family would know that's him. Mm-hmm. But it's just the most alien gesture.
And the thing is I feel like that was a John Travolta decision. And then with probably John Woo thought this was maybe some cultural difference thing. It was just like
John Woo not being a native, a native to this country, going, "Oh, that's what Americans do."
Yeah.
That's
fucking weird
those
Americans.
white people.
You see, Jonathan, what you don't know is that's how Scientologists shake hands. They wipe their booty faces.
Yeah, this is what Scientologists actually do. Speaking of Scientologists, let's jump ahead a bit.
Do we?
Stop jumping ahead.
No,
we gotta wait. Let's wait.
Okay, we'll wait on that one. But there is an unfortunate
There's a big
scene.
old whoopsie that.
it was bad at the time, but after some things that come to light, it's significantly more unsettling.
It has aged like milk. So I like how the first 15 minutes of this movie feel like the end of a previous film.
Yeah.
Like when you said that made so much sense.
It doesn't feel like the opening act. It feels like you walked in on a double feature like an hour and a half late to the first fucking movie. It works for it though. It really does.
Yeah, like I said, it seems like at times everything is happening all at once, but at the same token, it being what it is, pacing is definitely not an issue.
No,
it's constantly going.
Yeah, we were an hour and a half, like an hour 15 into it. We're like, oh my god, we've already watched this much of the movie.
Yeah,
but after the first 15 minutes, they find out that there's a bomb that's going to go off somewhere, and they've got to figure out why. And they find this out from a floppy disk that has like a full video presentation, which is bullshit. And the entire time, I used to work in IT, goddammit. And I'm like, he puts this floppy disk in, and it's a full-on like fucking video presentation like, with 3D model. Like, there's no fucking way that this floppy disk holds even a quarter of that shit.
You can barely hold a JPEG.
No, you pull that shit up, it's like MS-DOS.
But it's an exposition floppy disk. That's like Blu-ray capacity.
I love how in the 90s, how people perceived computers and technology and shit.
That was great.
It's fucking hilarious.
I will, but you have
where he's like, I'm gonna hack the web.
You also have to realize that the floppy disk was in the style of Castor Troy with the chick with the. No, it was when he defused the bomb when she took her shirt off and showed her boobs.
Yeah, and there was
the one before was she just suggested that she was a stripper
and she turned into a skull.
Yeah, the bomb control panel shouldn't have been able to have any of that information on it.
Yeah,
and it had the little flare when you pressed the button that turned into a little fire.
Mm-hmm.
But granted, there's they have access to technology that makes me think this is some near future sci-fi shit.
You see, that's the thing. I think I read originally this was supposed to be this futuristic dystopian type world,
mm-hmm.
and you see, and it's fucking kind of weird in this movie. You see technology that is happening now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the whole face swapping thing, and
touchscreen.
Yeah.
I mean, even simple shit like the touchscreen.
And they got little flame residue.
And this movie predicted 3D printing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
3D printed a fucking ear.
It's not far off. I mean, it's not like lasers, but
yeah. So they find out a bomb.
Yes.
And he starts interviewing all the people, including a random dude who, one of his associates, I guess, one of Bad Guy's associates, and then that guy's sister, who is Gina Gershon, who I'm really surprised wasn't more popular. She was good in things.
I mean, I think she did a few things in the 90s.
Yeah, but then like after Showgirls, she just sort of dropped off the face of the earth. But to be fair,
that probably says everything.
Doing
'cause
Showgirls
was a disaster.
yeah, it was a thing.
But you got to watch it as satire now, and it's all better.
But don't worry, she made her comeback.
Hey, it's no Freddie got fingered. I will not listen to this slander.
Hey, reviewers from back in the day have changed their review on that movie, watching it as satire, and they've like bumped their scores up. I will say that.
But I will say for Gina Gershon, she had her comeback on the hit CW sitcom Riverdale, where she played Jughead's criminal mother.
But is Riverdale a sitcom though? Not to be a pedantic asshole, but like
I'm not. Okay, look. If I had my way, we would have a show about Riverdale because this show defies categorization and description.
I meant to do this earlier because random dude that I forgot the character's name, but the actor is Nick Cassavetes, and he had one of those faces, and I had to look to see what else.
That name sounds
he's
familiar.
been
There are a lot of vaguely familiar people in this movie.
The Hangover Part 2? That tells me nothing. Tattoo Joe. He was the tattoo guy. Well, that Entourage. I never watched Entourage. I've seen him in things. IMDb is failing me right now.
Like what? Like
Is this fancy jacket guy?
Yes, bald guy. Yeah,
the bald guy.
he was in. Said it was Michael Chiklis when he popped up.
That would be some good shit because CCH Pounder is in this movie too.
Oh yeah,
and I couldn't find his name, but the other actor. I told y'all the guy in the green shirt. Like,
yeah,
he's just a little side character in this movie, but he was the guy. He was the sperm guy in The Shield, who kept all of his.
That guy.
Yeah. It's funny that it's CCH Pounder and him in this movie.
When you said there were two people from The Shield, I was like, okay, there's Claudette, okay, and then you mentioned something. I was like
a random criminal of the week
who only has the scene for like 5 minutes, and it's just him in a fridge full of cum jars.
You keep away from my children.
You keep away from my children.
That's right. He's in Blow. He's in Life. Oh, that's what I remember him from.
I'm really am astounded at how well y'all remember just like bit actors.
I mean, I remember faces. I've always remembered faces. Like I remember, God, I don't know what it was back in the day when I was a kid.
Well, you also can't forget cum in the fridge guy.
Evidently not.
Like, it's hard to erase that.
Well, and I was also going to say this movie. A guy lost his ear. He also played the guy that got his ear cut off in Reservoir Dogs.
You know, I think he just doesn't have an ear.
But
he just has a detachable ear.
But like back in the day, like I don't know why my mom would watch Sister Act 2 and I would watch it with her because it was on. So it was always on. I'd watch it. I recognized one of the nuns when she was in something else, and I remember my mom like always made a big deal out of it. Like, oh my God, like it's like you remember that actress? I was like, oh yeah, or whatever the fuck I sounded like back then. But I shit with names. I remember faces all day.
Because like, wasn't like one of the team people for John Travolta's character Buzz, I think his name was, like, wasn't he like one of the dads on Desperate Housewives or something?
I haven't seen Desperate Housewives.
Oh yes. Liz has been watching that, and yes, can confirm that dude is on Desperate Housewives.
I've heard that show is butt the fuck wild.
I remember watching it when it came out. It was something else.
Well, sorry about that. We were hearing weird noises.
Weird noises. Abaddon's dicking around. Abaddon? Frank, say Abaddon.
Abaddon?
Okay,
there you go.
good.
Thank you.
She gets you if you don't say her name.
Yeah. I gotta
he's just confused.
Like Abaddon and all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
So we get to where they switch faces, and I'm concerned because he's like, "Ooh, we're gonna switch your face," and he's like, "Sure, that sounds reasonable." He doesn't say that, but I'm paraphrasing, but you know what he meant. So they get in there and like, yeah, no, we're the best at this. Like, how many hobos did they practice on?
Yeah, it is very concerning. And knowing the U.S. government, I'm pretty sure they've done a lot of horrible shit to get that technology.
Like they just kidnap like illegal
You
immigrants.
don't just perfect it the first time.
It's like how they used to practice on tattoos. They were doing this on pigs, dead pig carcasses.
They were switching out dead pig faces.
Yes.
That seems
That's
unlikely.
even more terrifying, honestly.
I don't like any of the options
This
we
movie
have here.
also inspired Saw. What can I say?
So,
in a certain respect, I could probably see it.
so they switched the faces because
Which I forgot is way more unsettling. I mean, I know it's freaky, but like you actually see them just like suction off.
Oh my God! Yeah.
like
It's freaky.
like part of me thought there's no way that a fake Travolta face could look any more fake than Travolta's real face, but somehow they did it. They pulled it off.
Yeah, they made these like weird fucking dummies, and one of them shows up like Castor Troy is knocked out in a coma. That's how all this is like fucking happening. And I lost
And they showed Nick Cage like he's in a coma. He's laying
rubber
there.
dummy.
It's
Like a rubber
clearly not him.
But like I read that they added like little like things to make like the flesh twitch a little bit to make it seem real. Seems like a lot of unnecessary money. I don't know why Nick Cage could make it to set that day or whatever. It seems like you could have just put his ass down on the table. Or
Yeah, it's also stupid too because that doesn't happen when you're in a coma. I have been in hospital rooms where people are in a coma. The faces do not twitch.
Yeah, no, they're pretty much
still.
They're pretty much
That's
unconscious.
what a coma is.
Yeah.
You're perfectly still and unconscious.
Oh man, I perfected my analogy. When they suck the faces off, it's like those hair dryers in salons. But
Yes, it is.
Like the yeah.
you scalp somebody.
I thought it was funny how when they're first suction off, they're like really like meaty and hunky, like there's bone in it, and then when they pop it in the water, it's literally just rubber like pudding skin.
Yeah, that was I don't like the effects for that. They didn't age well at all.
Well, also, it made it seem like the only thing keeping your face on is the skin around it, as if there's not connecting tissue underneath your skin.
They talked
your
about-
skin is just free floating on your face.
They said they would reattach all the nerve endings and whatnot, but that's obviously not true because they literally just slapped the face down on.
Yeah.
How are you connecting shit when you got the face
And the
on
dude just
there?
like moving it around like it's like like it's a piece of bologna and a piece of bread.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not.
I mean, obviously, this is nitpicking, just like fantastical bullshit.
Well, and also too, I mean, we're talking about a movie where two dudes switch faces.
Yeah, but
I mean, we're out of the realm of realism.
it's to the point though. Like there is a valid criticism because a movie like this, you have to suspend your disbelief, and that's perfectly normal. But these effects, the way it worked was so bad, it took us out of the movie where two dudes are switching faces.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, also like at the time, this was probably state of the fucking art.
I distinctly remember being weirded the fuck out back then too.
Oh yeah, you remember the digital effect of them mapping the faces and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
That was like cutting edge back then, and looks like shit now. It's like the damn Tron video game.
Yeah.
I'm just grateful they didn't just like try to CG the whole thing because that just would have been far beyond.
There's a lot of practical elements to this.
Which like I still appreciate the hell out of. It takes an intense degree of effort and time to make. It seems sort of silly to make just like breathing, fluctuated like dummy torso, but like I still appreciate they went that extra mile.
Oh yeah! As much as they didn't look like their real counterparts, they didn't look bad. They just looked awful.
Yeah. They just took the wax dummies from Madame Tussauds and put them out on the table.
Honestly, I feel like if they tried to make this movie now, and they're talking about a sequel,
or reboot, and or
if they tried to make this movie now and use the CG, I still do think it would look worse than what we got practically from this.
Yeah, probably so.
It would just be too weird.
It depends on how much
I do like the whole the part where when they're suggesting this whole plan to the FBI agent, who is currently John Travolta's character. He's like, shit, no, that's insane. Because any person with the brain would go, you want to take my face off and put another face on me? No, that's insane.
No, that
It's
never
kind of
worked.
like the whole like plot of Con Air, how like they're moving all these like super criminals in this giant plane.
Like,
and what could go wrong?
It's basically like you're walking around the world across the street.
meanwhile, I forgot. Like, does anybody remember initially what was the timer set at when they planted the bomb?
Like 6 days, I think they said they had.
God, it seemed like a fucking eternity had passed by the time they had gotten to the.
Well, it was a date.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily.
It was like days, wasn't it?
Yeah,
They said a certain
more than
date.
six.
they put a date into it, but
Yeah.
then when they got to the thing, they said we got to do this thing because there's a bomb in 6 days.
But I think you think when they mentioned the timetable that it's like, oh, this is like X hours or X days. But that's not really mentioned again.
Yeah, when John Travolta's FBI agent was abusing criminals in custody to get the date.
It's like this wouldn't shit his pants. Get him out of here.
Yeah, he kicked the shit out of some people.
And then
I mean, I'd rather him shit his pants than what he did on the Shield.
Right. So
Anyway,
Jesus Christ.
John Travolta is now Nicolas Cage,
and Nicolas Cage is still in a coma.
still in a coma,
But
with no face.
But after John Cage gets his, is he going to be confusing at all?
Told you this is going to be confusing as fuck.
All right.
But
After
when fucking John Travolta as Nick Cage wakes up, and then he full on agreed to this. And then wakes up and is just like breaks down and cries.
I imagine like you agreeing with it and then seeing it in reality. Probably like I understood that would fuck you up.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, yeah, but like I don't think like that person. I think it would be a little more existential instead of just like.
I mean, if I did a thing and woke up with the face of the person I hated most staring back at me in the mirror, I might have a breakdown.
See, what we do is we make a movie where Jesse wakes up with Jason Momoa's face.
Only if I get his abs too.
So,
Well, in that world, that happens.
Exactly.
and then at the end of the movie, he's all wrapped up. It's like, okay, Justin, we got the face back. It's right this time. Unwrap his face. It's Kevin Costner.
Oh no!
Fuck you.
But the reason I bring this up is because one of the things I like about John Travolta as Nick Cage in this movie is like how out of his element he is. But that point at the end of the movie where he says probably the most relatable line ever. He's like, "Man, I am so tired."
Yeah.
Because he's just been going like nonstop for like a week.
Also, that voice changing technology was like, I don't know, it's just like weird technology and face off. But that didn't make any sense.
No, it's like a weird
it's magic.
Like a
Great magic.
We're gonna put this thing in your voice box that does a cool shit.
Like,
watch this.
We already put a thing in your throat. Now we're going to put a microphone to it. Now I want you to talk about eating peaches until I get the right pitch. Okay.
Whoever wrote that line was really proud of it because we had to hear it like 50 times before the first 30 minutes.
If it wasn't for that line, you wouldn't have had your golden bit from earlier.
I mean, that's
true.
That's true. I'm just saying it's not a great line.
I mean, no. It's
I mean, it's great, but it's not great.
It's great.
You know what I
It's
mean.
great in the sense of showing you again how much of a sleaze fuck this guy is.
Yeah, no, it works really well for that.
Entire beach for hours. Like
And-
that just sounds inefficient.
So they swap faces.
Swap the faces.
It's like
and the love hand. No, wait, we haven't gotten there yet.
it's just like tantric ass eating, which is just like why.
God damn it!
When the prison.
So they switch faces, and they also shave like 50 pounds off of Travolta. So now he looks just like Nick Cage.
Because Nick Cage has like straight up.
That's the
abs.
most amazing part of the whole technology is him trimming down Travolta's body to Nick Cage's trim fit.
Or when they talk about laser shears to fix the hairline, when you actually see them using just scissors.
No. They had like a little laser machine
But
going.
what's the point if you have scissors?
No, those
Because they said laser shears and they had to have
those were
laser.
laser brand. It was laser brand scissors. It was a plug. It was marketing. So
You know, like the Motorola razor.
TM.
Yeah, it's off the O.
Fucking face off predicted Manscaped.
So babyface Nick Cage gets to prison to talk to heel Nick Cage's brother. To find out
who looks like one of the Gallagher brothers.
he does. He does look like Noel Gallagher. I expected him to just break into Wonderwall. Because I'm looking at him, I was like, is that a Gallagher brother? And I said maybe. I love that joke. So he gets in there and somehow immediately gets the information like, yeah, no, it's at the LA blah, 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 convention, blah, blah, blah. Like, thanks, you're a piece of shit, and then walks off because, that wouldn't be a good idea, but he's going to do it anyway.
I wouldn't say immediately. He did get his ass beaten by the guy that
Heel Cage
had a, quote, sex sandwich with his wife and sister the night he was sent to that prison.
Yes, that is the thing they said. Also, Thomas Jane is in the prison for some reason.
Yes, both stars of the 2004 Punisher in this movie.
Yep.
Cavalcade of stars.
And Ghost Rider.
Also, can we talk about, and I read this and I really want it to be true, but I read that the boots that were worn in this prison were the boots that the Goombas wore in the Super Mario Brothers.
I thought that while I'm watching, because just to let you know, this prison
left over.
The prison is magnetic, and all the prisoners have to wear magnet boots to lock them down, I guess, because
they're basically on a giant oil rig.
Yeah, why not? And when I saw those boots, I thought, it kind of looks like the Mario boots. And you know what? It might fucking be.
I really want that to be true.
I mean, I remember reading that too, and I would say it's possible.
I mean, it's the top Google hit.
Where's Snopes?
I mean, how many fucking Goombas were in that movie? Jesus.
Well, it wasn't just the Goombas. Like Luigi and Mario both put on the boots too. Yeah. That's how they jumped.
But like the prisoner to Goomba ratio from the.
I just want to say
kept the mold from the boots and just made a bunch of them with surplus style.
Probably
just the whole never missing leg day in that prison.
I will say, before,
Jack.
Like when I was young, like watching this movie, I didn't know who Thomas Jane was. But then when I grew up watching shit that Thomas Jane was in, and I knew who he was going back like years ago, I was like, "Holy shit, that's Thomas Jane!" That was a nice little nugget that happened way back when.
Yeah. So he gets the information right in time to get a visitor.
Yep.
And it's Heel Travolta.
Nope. We're skipping the part where fucking Castor Troy wakes up from his coma, right? Rips off all of his bandage, not a drop of fucking blood on him. He puts one finger on his face and it's just gore all over his hand.
And then he makes a phone call while talking without lips.
No lips, yeah.
Gets the doctor there thanks to his goons.
I was getting mad Jack Nicholson Joker vibes.
It's like, I'm here.
A little bit.
Well, technically, that's what Cage did. New face Cage did when he smashed him here with the coat rack.
Yeah. So he gets the doctor to put the face on because he had gotten the face off.
Face off.
So now
he said the thing.
They said the thing.
I did think it was interesting how, like what we were talking earlier, how they seem to disguise a lot of the gore in the film. Like how there's a very quick, awkward cut of Cage in profile with like the no face.
Oh yeah, 2 times.
And then you'd see like a very sort of hazy version reflected in the doctor's glasses. And so like part of me is like, okay, that's cool to have this air of mystery, but also feels like a little artificial at the same time. Like you have an R, you can show the boogity boo.
I mean, it could have been that the gore would have put it in NC-17 territory.
Possibly.
Because this is mid-90s.
Yeah, this is the 90s. Censors like kind of fluctuate over time. So,
but it's funny how this is basically would become a straight up Joker bit in the Batman comics.
So how did the doctor put Travolta's face on Heel Cage by himself without his team of nurses and shit?
Yeah, the team, like you said,
it was just him.
Killed everybody that knew about the surgery. Literally, the only people that died was the doctor,
and then
Travolta's friend, and CCH Pounder.
Yeah,
the med team, they just got out.
I mean, that's the ones they show, but surely they would have had to round up the team.
But I mean,
they
apparently
would
not.
also know.
Maybe
it doesn't seem like it.
There are only 3 people.
They did not. They did not show it, but
I guess that would make sense in something that comes later.
Yeah. So that's where we've gotten. And then they have a face-off after their faces come off in the prison, which we will cover after this quick break. Thank you for listening so far. We'll be right back.
Grace, class, style. All of this and more can be found at tpublic.com/user/grace. patreon.com/caging greatness. Show the world that you'll never let anyone cage your greatness.
Thank you for coming back after that intermission. It wasn't that great. I don't know. I'm asking. I have no idea what's going to go there. We're gonna figure that out in the next couple of days. Because might be commercial. Might be something else funny. I don't know. I really have no idea. I hope it was good. So heel Travolta shows up to confront Face Cage.
Yes.
And he
Face off. They face off.
You know, honestly, Nicolas Cage's acting in this scene, it was really big and over the top, but I felt like that fit it. Because he was horrified and confused and he kept trying to dry heave.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really good because, you know, if your worst enemy shows up with your face and everyone you love is now dead who knew about it, I'd probably throw up.
Yeah. And this is also where I'm just going to go ahead and get this out there, where John Travolta steals the fucking show for a good hunk of the rest of the movie.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, like, Nick Cage's performance is a little more subtle, but fucking John Travolta, he's chewing all the fucking scenery.
Yes, every fucking bit of it.
Every inch of it. But, like, he's also able to capture Nicolas Cage playing Castor Troy really well.
Because I'm getting the same vibes.
Like, and just like little minute mannerisms.
Yeah, like I mean,
that I would have paid attention to.
Like I'm getting the same fucking vibes of Nick Cage from the beginning in the priest outfit, you know, windmilling, just grabbing asses for no reason, and then just murdering people in an airport when they switch. Like I'm still getting that. I don't know if any of these little tidbits that I read were true. Apparently, they just like made a point to hang out a lot for like 2 straight weeks to make sure they got each other's like mannerisms and how they said and
takes down.
Yeah, and like for the most part, I can see it on both ends.
Yeah, because they're both kind of methody.
Yeah,
in their acting styles occasionally.
Yeah.
However, those two in a room alone together, I don't know if I could imagine that.
It would be
it'd be really weird.
It would be weird. But I feel like after Broken Arrow, they just told Travolta, like, hey, you know what you did in that movie? Just do that, but bigger. Because that was, like, he's good at playing a psychopath. I don't know what that says about him as a person.
Given some of the stories we've heard, maybe. So.
Yeah, I mean, being a Scientologist, and the sexual assault.
Sexual assault, that's a big one. Remember, kids, consent is a thing.
Yes.
And now we arrive. We can skip just a little bit ahead. At the scene that has aged so poorly.
Oh, yeah.
So after heel Travolta, he goes home to Face Cage's family and, you know, does the whole family thing and gets with his wife in a very dangerous setting with lit candles all around that should have been put out before anything happened.
Far too many candles.
It was just it was big.
Oh, you're
and
skipping
it was dangerous.
over the daughter bit.
We're getting there.
I thought that happened before.
Yeah. So and also he's pretty weird with Face Travolta's daughter. Yeah. It's weird. Also, when she's introduced, like in the beginning of the movie, we're going back for a second. When she's introduced, and good guy Travolta's like, "What happened? She get into another fight?" She spins around and it's just this weird slow mo with a choir behind her when she's introduced as a character, and just really threw me off. Did you guys notice that?
It's like, look at this freak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and like, I don't know, like. Like, you talk about how like John Travolta kind of looks at her and shit. I think the camera, like John Woo, might be having some feelings because it made me kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy that.
Well, I think if I read correctly that she actually was 16 in this movie, the girl that plays the daughter.
I don't like that.
Oh, I don't like that even more.
That makes it worse. That makes it so much worse.
And honestly,
because she gets licked. He licks her face. at the end.
But
she almost gets sexually assaulted.
because
by a real
sexual assaulter.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they have
imitating life.
Yeah, they have a scene where it's weird, and then later on she comes home being driven by a minor character who then attempts to assault her. And he's played by Danny Masterson, who is currently on trial for, what is it, several rapes, I think?
Several sexual assaults.
Yikes.
Several.
I mean, one rape is too many, but like, it's a lot, fam.
It is a lot.
That Scientology used their clout to try to squash or cover up for years.
Which makes it even worse that John Travolta then beats the shit out of Danny Masterson in this movie. So and you gotta wonder, I was thinking at the time, is this when he converted Danny Masterson to Scientology? They just filmed it? He's just kicking the shit out of him in real life?
Because apparently,
you're going to learn about your thetans, damn it! He just breaks him over his knee.
L. Ron Hubbard loves you and your money.
Because apparently joining Scientology is a lot like joining the gang. You just get beat in.
Yeah, probably.
There's two ways to join.
You're either born in or you're beat in. See, Beck was born in. Elizabeth Moss born in.
So that was
Masters beat in and hopefully beat up the rest of his life.
So it was not a good scene. Looking back on it from today,
even looking on it at first, it's pretty bad. Looking on back, it's this is exceptionally worse.
And then now with this new information that the actress was underage, I'm sorry, I just don't think you should do that.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Even acting, that's just not okay.
But this whole time, heel Travolta is acting so goddamn weird and against type. Because, he was stick in the mud boss for years. And then all of a sudden, he's just happy, flying free.
He's giving his daughter a cigarette because he's now cool dad.
I understand what it's like to go through your problems, kid. Also, here's a butterfly knife.
Juicing up all the glory, something that, the real person would never do, as shown at the beginning of the movie. He was like, why do you want to celebrate? People are dead. Fuck y'all.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden he's like, yeah, we did it. Who died this time? Nobody cares. And nobody thought, I don't know, that's kind of weird. Maybe we should ask somebody about that.
And then full blown, full palm grasping a secretary's ass in front of everybody. There's no way no one saw that.
Which has also aged very poorly considering John Travolta's sexual harassment claims.
I mean, the thing is that thing aged poorly because, like I said during the thing, second wave feminism had already happened. We're already on third wave feminism. This shit wasn't okay even then. And it's never okay.
I mean, the point of that was supposed to show that it was not good.
Well, yeah.
Because he even did the Castor Troy face thing like he did earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
But you know what scene didn't age poorly? The fucking prison escape scene.
That was a good scene.
Oh my God. Everything exploding again.
Medicine cabinets full of medicine and metal things just exploding.
Sparks galore.
Cops getting the shit kicked out of them.
Yeah. Oh my God. There are some fucking bumps that these stuntmen took in this shot that I was like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
The one where he hit the table.
Yeah, it just bounced the wrong way.
That was
bad.
I remember that to this day. I always watching Face Off. I'm going to see that dude die.
Like that. Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's a point that comes up later, and it's I hope whatever they paid these stuntmen, they got paid exceptionally well for all the tumbles they took in the prison escape scene and scene with the speedboat later.
Yeah, the gun fu. We didn't even touch on all that in the opening scene, but you know what you're getting into.
John Woo, diving across the room, guns akimbo, blasting,
bullets, people jumping, explosions. What had
the whole time? I'm thinking
everywhere.
I'm thinking of Hot Fuzz. Just the whole time, I was like, have you ever fired two guns whilst jumping through the air going, "R"? It just makes me happy.
I freaking love the pirouettes and the somersaults during the gunplay for no apparent reason.
Yeah, there's so much rolling.
Nick Cage who just randomly does a flip for no reason.
Yeah. It's like watching fucking Dark Souls, but with guns just rolling all the time.
I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it was actual Travolta or his stuntman, but both characters had flipped at least a couple of times.
Yeah, like Cage, I could see actually flipping.
Yeah,
Travolta seemed a little stiffer.
Yeah. In fact, I read like Nick Cage really didn't want to do a lot of the action stuff, specifically anything involving heights.
Yeah, he's not a fan. He's not a fan of heights. I don't blame him.
A lot of wire work in this movie too. You can still see some of the wires in this movie.
Yeah.
But,
But that's the sort of appeal of this era of. I mean, John Woo was Hong Kong filmmaker.
Yeah.
Before coming to Hollywood and doing a Hollywood stint, but.
Yeah, but like what was mentioned before, the actual practical effects, are much better in my opinion than trying to CGI.
Oh yeah, like I said, like real squibs will dominate digital blood in my opinion all day, every day.
And I just love the wire foo shit.
Oh yeah,
it's
good
stuff. Like, I'm a sucker for that. I had that. What was that game called? Like Stranglehold. I didn't play it a lot. I don't remember beating it, but it was supposed to be the sequel to one of his films.
Yeah, no, the one with Chow Yun-Fat, who actually was the first. Yeah. It was the first major.
It was like a launch title for the 360.
Yeah, it was the first major celebrity in a video game thing.
Yeah.
Like for mainstream.
I was
for PS3.
I think it was the original.
Well,
I think it was the original Xbox.
I feel like the first
that gen.
The first video game I remember that had like a named celebrity was like Onimusha 3 with Jacques Renault.
Yeah,
it's one of those like action like hack 'em up.
Yeah, Stranglehold came out in 2007, and it was the sequel to what's the name of that fucking movie?
Hard Boiled.
That's the one. Thank you. Yeah. Yes, and it wasn't bad. I liked it.
Yeah, I know. Like I remember having fun with it. I just never beat it.
Yeah,
but once Face Cage
escapes prison,
gets out of the cage.
Yeah,
despite all of his rage,
he's still just a rat.
He goes to Cassavetes' house,
right? Yeah, Cassavetes and Gershon, who are their brother and sister in that movie, right?
Yes.
And yet they share a very passionate tongue kiss.
They do. In fact, when Face Travolta rolls in, he looks right at him in his face and he goes, "What's wrong with you? You look like you just fucked your mother." And then
when that happened,
when he smooches his sister on the mouth, I was like, wow. Well, so you know what it's like to know what a face looks like of somebody who has sex with a family member.
I did read in my sort of research of the movie that Gina Gershon and Nick Cavasets, that's something they came up with together, and it's like to show like their weird warped way of like affection for each other. Like that's like their sort of not necessarily ad lib, they didn't do it in the moment, but like their contribution together. It's like when they try to brainstorm this, like, oh, we're this weird fucked up family, ain't it? And this is their demonstration.
See, I feel like we could have gotten that without the tongue kiss. I feel like I didn't have any fucking questions before we got to that point. That this family full of crime, they didn't have to make out too.
Anyway, but before the smooch even happens, you got Face Travolta getting what appears to be his first touch of like some sort of drugs because he is uber fucked up.
Yeah,
with the bad guys.
When he takes this mystery blue pill and breaks it in half in water.
Yeah,
it looks like they made like cocaine, but it was like Alka-Seltzer.
It looks like they just took a Metamucil and stirred it up.
It was fizzy lifting drinks.
And then he gave one of the best lines after they said the thing. Like they said face off three times in a row. It was lovely.
Take his face off.
Yeah. He said, "I have to visit the little boy's wee-wee room."
He did say that.
That is a thing he said.
That deserves free speech, Jill.
Yeah. And then there was a nice touch after that happened, though, where he's still fucked up from the drugs. He's getting water. He leans up from the sink, sees his reflection in a mirror, and draws on himself immediately because
he's uber fucked, right?
Yeah. And also, that's the face that he's used to trying to shoot. Yeah. So I thought that was a really nice touch. Layers, bro.
By Dahlia Onion, baby. So good.
And that's when Gina Gershon shows up and he passes the fuck out.
No, she knocks him out.
Yeah.
Decks him in the face.
That was good.
After he makes that one meme.
I'm not dead. I'm me.
You're not me.
Oh, and also around the same time, after the Danny Masterson scene, bad Travolta gives good Travolta's daughter a butterfly knife. That's the stupidest design I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Yes. Because
both sides are sharp. Now, a butterfly knife. Just do a quick Google. Thomas Jane used one in the 2004 Punisher film.
Yes.
It was really sweet. The point of the butterfly knife is to be able to flip it around. It's got to bounce off the back of your hand on the flat part. And if there's not a flat part, you're just going to fucking cut yourself, and it's stupid. And opening it looks clumsy as hell, which it did. Every time they did it in the movie, it's just like, I'm just going to slowly open it, let this part hang, and here you go. Here's a knife. Like, it's just stupid, and I hate it.
It shows the level of skill when you're using the double-edged sword.
What if one of the Leonard Skinner fans that we pissed off goes back to this film, pauses it, just zooms in super wide? What if it's the same pattern, but it's also a dull side too?
Then they did a poor job of making that knife. Because I have a butterfly knife.
Pointy.
Yeah, I have a butterfly knife, and it is very clearly one side is sharp and the other side is not.
Yeah.
But I knew a guy who had a flat blade that had both sides sharp on the butterfly knife.
That's stupid.
First time he used it, he cut the shit out of the back of his hand. Yeah. So I don't even think these things shouldn't fucking exist like that. It goes against the point.
I'm just saying, it could be possible that even if it is a stupid design, I'm not disagreeing with you, but it still could have been a fat dull end. And
if it was a dull end, then that just makes them look even dumber for not opening it the cool way.
A thick-ass blade.
Yeah. So then the FBI attacks
like my ass.
After Gina Gershon tries to come on to Nick Cage, who is not Nick Cage.
Wakes him up, and he's ready to shoot. I feel like in a real-life scenario, he probably would have really shot. It's doesn't know where he is. He just got destroyed with drugs he's never taken before. First time he's ever done drugs before. And he's just God, I'm the guy I hate, and who are you? Boom.
Apparently he's the one.
Let's be real. By the way John Travolta looks at the start of this movie, he has to be addicted to at least Vyvanse. I'm just saying.
So Gina Gershon was like, I hate you. Let's fuck. I'm kidding. I hate you again. It's real confusing.
Here's my kid.
Yeah.
Also, we have a kid together.
Yeah. Also, here's a child.
It was such an awkward way to introduce that boy.
And so
it was just oh, by the way, we got a fucking kid.
And so Face Cage is like, oh, this kid reminds me of my dead son from 6 years ago, and just holds him really weirdly, saying the wrong name.
He's just slowly mushing this child into his chest.
He does the stupid face touch thing.
Yeah. And Gina Gershon's what the fuck's wrong with you?
And then the FBI attacks.
Yeah, because evil little brother is across the window peeping. It's oh yeah, big bro, evil Travolta. I know where they are, and they fucking in your bed. It called every cop on the planet.
Oh man, mm-hmm. Captain Dingaling, who saved LA from a bombing, just has an army with him.
Yeah, has carte blanche to do whatever he wants now.
Yeah,
he's a hero cop.
You saved the bomb. You saved the town from a bomb that was powered by the Dead Sea Scrolls, apparently.
And we get yet another fucking fantastic shootout scene.
Oh god! And the line that Nick Cassavetes gives, it was, "Damn, my place is getting fucked up."
Yeah,
that was a great line.
Man,
he wasn't wrong.
He was not wrong. He says that immediately after shooting one of his own vases, though.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it? Vases?
Vases.
Yeah,
vases.
When a vase becomes fancy enough, it turns into a vase.
Anyway.
Like how a foyer becomes a foyer.
Just because I feel like it's going to piss somebody off. He shoots a vase and it explodes. Damn, this place could fuck. You just shot your own decor, bro.
Didn't someone move out of the way and it hit the vase instead?
I think so, yeah.
No, there was nobody in front of that thing. He just shot.
He was trying to shoot somebody.
Or maybe he's damn, I shot that vase. I hated that vase.
There's people flipping around, flipping over bars, just like the little kids listening to
Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
This is this, I guess, very different cover of Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
In a weird twist, I read that was performed by Olivia Newton-John.
Really?
Yes.
That's funny.
It's funny because Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta written this movie.
Yay!
So everyone dies who isn't Nick Cage, Gina Gershon, John Travolta, and the kid.
Yes.
Nick Cassavetes gets shot in the neck, tongue kisses his sister, and then bleeds out.
Man, I've been tongue, but there was like full blown, like just face on face, like mouth kissing happening. Just,
Yeah.
Like,
gross.
what?
And then
just pissing blood from his neck.
And then there's the shootout between Cage and Travolta, where they end up looking at each other in a mirror, which was a neat little symbolism thing that they beat you over the head with.
Don't forget, to come after.
But I mean, it's such a cool shot, though.
When Lil Bro gets thrown from the roof through
brother death was
afterwards with falls through, like, which I think is really sick. The skylight message, that was really cool.
Because Travolta and Cage are shooting, and then another guy shows up with a fucking noob tube from Call of Duty.
God, he was lighting that place up with a fucking grenade launcher.
Cage's ass is just singed from running up these steps.
Walk through that
All
fire.
back to the smoldering ass I mentioned earlier.
And then
Smoldering ass.
gets to the top of this building and grabs a rope and swings in like the opposite way into Travolta's little brother, Bad Cage's little brother. And they both fall through a skylight, but Good Cage catches himself, and Little Bro just dies in front of Travolta.
Falls through two skylights.
Two skylights. And then another, like the FBI agent with a noob tube is like, "Why are you crying, man? It's just Pollux." And so Heel Travolta shoots him in the face.
Because as evil as Caster, he still loves his brother.
Yep.
Oh, I've always had a weird issue with that one part in particular. With the headshot in particular, I was wondering, like, you see, like, the blood splatter right here, right?
Right.
But when that actor falls, that falls with it. I don't know if that was supposed to be like a piece of the noggin just flopping in the wind.
Yeah, it felt like that was like noggin and hair, because the dude had long hair, so the blood would make like a splattery.
Also, he had like that weird, I obviously have a squib attached to my forehead makeup on his head when he creeped up on the scene.
Yeah, that was,
De-headed.
They couldn't digitally edit that out like they probably could these days.
And then Heel Travolta fucking kills the head of the bureau.
Yeah, kills the director of the FBI because he's having heart issues, so he just elbows him in the fucking chest after hitting him in the back of the neck.
Yeah, because blunt force trauma, never heard
Like,
of it.
after telling him that he's Castor Troy, like, he wouldn't know, like, what are your...
He does seem to be suffering from some kind of heart condition.
Yeah, he's having
at the time, and Bad Travolta goes up to him. Well, I'm going to tell you this, and you're not going to like it. And then he proceeds to assault the shit out of him.
Oh, just excuse me, I'm having a heart attack.
Oh wait,
Let's go get there, brother. Oh, he's just having a heart attack again.
I was waiting for the bear.
But what if Heel Travolta had gotten that wrong and the dude had just had Taco Bell for lunch? And so he goes down and gets elbowed like, the fuck are you doing?
Oh man, I think, did we skip over fucking Face Cage going to the wife's house?
They were both at the same time-ish.
Pretty close-ish, yeah.
Yeah, because the dude died and then Cage goes to the wife's house and then she figures out that it's actually Travolta. And then they have to go to the funeral. Yeah. So... yeah, like Good Cage got shot, just shows up at home, avoids a couple cops, and then surprises his wife in their bedroom as she's getting out of the shower. Like,
And,
please don't scream, please don't scream.
And this whole time, this bitch is shook because, like, she's like got his hands all over her. The guy she knows is this evil worldwide terrorist. He's like, "Please believe me, I'm your husband."
Who murdered her son.
Yeah. But gives her the clue.
Yeah. Like, no, we have different blood types. They couldn't fix that.
Which I heard there was actually a little interesting bit behind why they were their certain blood types too.
What's that?
I think let's see, AB is the one that is
It's the universal taker.
yeah,
Universal
all
recipient.
It does is take and take.
Yeah.
When
O negative is the donor, universal donor. Yeah. Because I'm O
good and
negative.
the bad.
Yeah.
Well, not bad, but you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was
Duality.
yeah.
Light,
Y'all who did
dark,
the name
face,
shit,
and
you
all.
fucking nerds. You
No, I like the blood thing.
Yeah,
that was good.
That's a good bit.
Yeah. Because I'm O negative. So
I don't know what blood type I am.
You should know that. You should.
I'm the same way. I don't know mine. I think I'm A.
I have to ask my mom every time. She's the one that keeps up with that shit.
Got my Red Cross card in my wallet. Try to give blood when I can.
all this blood in my
I'm sorry. I try to give blood to help people because my blood can help everybody.
Look at Justin loading his blood.
Excuse
your blood.
Excuse the fuck out of me.
I wake up in the morning and I piss blood. Ugh.
Blood! Get your blood here!
That's
$20 a pack!
I'm
Get
the
your
most
blood here!
I'm the most important man in the world. I have the king's blood in my veins.
That's right, ladies. Not only am I incredibly handsome, according to the reviews left, but I also think about others by donating blood. I'm kidding. There's no ladies that listen to this podcast.
like Justin is being like all like sensual with the lady, just start squirting his blood in her mouth. What the fuck, man? What the fuck?
God, that was gross.
Oh my god!
Oh, I hate that.
He's like that lizard that squirts blood out of his eye.
How you feeling, Frank?
I was fine up until that. Why is it always Pat? Pat is always the nicest person away from the podcast, and he always throws out the most horrific shit when I'm on.
No, you would not heard him off mic just say the most.
This must be around you fuckers, because around me usually he's nice.
Well, like,
we'll fix that.
We're talking about like a person, like celebrity or something, and he'll come up with these really quippy one-liners that just cut to the bone, like scalpel-like steady hand precision.
Yeah, Pat can be a petty bitch, and I love it.
Like he could like verbally destroy you.
Yeah.
Little old me.
So she tests the blood, right? She like jabs Bad Travolta in the arm while he's asleep, and he doesn't notice because the plot doesn't want him to.
Well, he wakes up a bit, but he's like,
oh,
It's just some big ass skeeters.
it's like a fucking inch long needle. She jabs into his arm.
She just jabs his sack into the arm.
So she takes it to the hospital. I was like, oh God, he is the wrong blood type.
Because, wife is a doctor.
Right.
A very accomplished doctor. And she puts it in the blood-o-matic, and and it just says, this bitch evil blood.
and that's the show. We got
God,
oh, fuck.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Okay, so after the blood-o-matic confirms the evil.
like Face Cage is just creeping in the back.
Yeah, Face Cage is just there.
He's already there.
It's like, by the way, I'm kind of bleeding. Could you help, please? And so she's like, all right, you are my husband. I'm mad at you for all the stuff that happened before, and I'm just going to go along with all this weird face swappingness because what else can I do?
But you know what wins are over? You know what wins are over, right?
Yeah, the first date talk.
Wipe your booty face.
Yeah, the fucking face hand thing.
It's like, hey, baby, it caught me your fart. What a smell.
No, human wife, it is me. Let me touch your face.
It's like,
oh, yes, husband, touch my face. This is what normal humans do.
There's one bit I read that I thought was just insane. It's like, is this real? Because there's a bit where Face Cage is like, oh, he tells his wife to get his daughter to go take refuge at her mother's house. Apparently, there was supposed to be a scene where they're actually at her mother's house. But the mother was going to be played by one of two people, either Elizabeth Taylor or Jack Nicholson in drag.
What?
I want this to be real.
Both of those choices make this movie so much more fucked up.
But that scene was never made. It was cut from the script.
Oh, thank God.
And a possible scene for this film. But it would have only been for a minute.
But why?
Oh, no. I spotted another one.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, it's on the ceiling.
Oh, shit.
Another fucking spider.
That is a big-ass spider. That is a big-ass spider.
Ladies and gentlemen, I come to you now with this news broadcast. The spiders have invaded the flooded basement.
But I don't even want to fuck with it because it's just going to land on the table.
Yeah.
It's directly above Justin's head.
No, that's
so let's fuck with it.
No, that's like a foot and a half in front of me.
That's a big-ass spider.
Yeah, it's not a small
smaller
one.
than the one I saw earlier, though.
Let's see if I can find something to throw at it.
I'd rather you didn't. I will beat your ass.
Oh, man. Yeah, that is...
Oh, he's coming down.
Okay. What do we do here?
He's actually coming down.
You're
You
big.
hear us?
He's like, I heard you talking shit.
All right, where is it? I lost sight.
He's on the trim. Ladies and gentlemen, please bear with us through this. It's a terrible moment. We're transferring mics. We're doing our best to continue broadcasting.
Where is it?
Oh, don't use the mop. It's right there on the trim. Right there, yes. Kill it. Kill it with fire. Is it dead? It's on the thing. It's on the table. Watch the keyboard. Watch the keyboard.
It's dead. I'm just knocking it off.
Yes, where I sit, you fuck. How dare you?
It's dead, you pussy!
Damn, I gotta pee anyway. I'm going to take a pee. We're still, all right, we're coming to you live. We're not going to break away from this.
Oh, the humanity.
Oh, this is terrible.
The humanity is in our.
We'll let you know when Justin stops clutching his pearls.
All right, the spider is now in many, many pieces. I have killed the spider myself with no help from anyone else.
Also, would it be a bad time to mention that this window right here, if you move up the curtains, is filled with like spider egg sacs?
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. You guys should get some pest control.
That's probably not a good idea for you.
Huh. So, Cannon's taking a pee break. We're still recording because we didn't.
We take a second break to compose ourselves.
Yeah, we're we're gonna keep recording. We are staying with this. The Cannon's laughing maniacally from the bathroom. We just hear a.
You can probably still hear that because there's been plenty of times where we were recording AYCH, and someone, probably Jonathan, be in the murder
I
toilet.
like the fact that Justin is now constantly staring around
It's
the
just like
ceiling.
taking a fat dump. We can hear him say everything the whole time.
Yeah. So, yes, it landed on the floor after you killed it with the mop, as I bravely ran away. And then after it landed on the floor, I squished it with my foot and dragged. So now there's just a smear of spider.
Double tap, right?
Yeah, as I bravely ran away.
Said, "Fuck you guys!" It took a shit on the floor.
Brave Sir Robin.
It's right there. I mean, it's smelling real bad.
Brave Sir Justin.
I figured since
Yes.
we all left our seats, I had to take a leak anyway, so I went to go do that.
And we are absolutely leaving all of that
That's
in.
fine. I think it'd be
That's-
funny as hell, just like everyone just like, God damn it, now they're screaming about spider.
Like, to be fair, that's not our fault, okay? That's, we had...
I'm glad I saw that.
I'm glad you did, too.
It's an occupational hazard. Where's my workers' comp?
Yeah, you don't hear about this on like the big wig shows because they're in like their hermetically sealed environments. Don't worry about weather or like pests,
Leaky basements.
or like the
Black fucking mold.
What is this, the third spider we've killed on the show now? Like live?
Yeah, sounds about right.
At least two, because I killed one, you killed one. I think there was another one in there.
Like, I was down here mopping up some water earlier, and I saw one that was at least 2 times bigger than that one.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
No, that's not
I
fun.
killed it with
Yeah.
the firest of fires.
Yeah, no, it's time to burn the house down. Just,
where are we living, Jimmy? Your house?
I mean, we got room, sort of. You guys like couches?
This is just a long time for Jimmy to get new roommates, so he wants us.
It would not be the first time you did a podcast out of your house.
Yeah, no, we've done that. Yeah. Anyway, before our harrowing adventure, where we almost died, but this time it didn't.
With death.
This time it didn't kill the computer when we almost died, like the last time.
You sparks we talk about sparks in this movie. We had sparks in this show, buddy.
So much bullshit has happened to us on this show. It's so.
I'm getting the flashbacks.
CCR is playing the chopper is going.
That underrated band, according to Watch Mojo.
Okay.
Watch
Side
Mojo.
tour. Side tangent. Okay.
To be fair, world, we have been talking about the movie nonstop for a good bit.
Hour and a half.
You
Hour and a
ran
half
us
solid.
one detour.
One
and
sure.
I swear this is not going to be long.
I mean, most of the rest of the movie is just firefights. So go ahead.
True.
So we were just like watching YouTube in the living room the other day, and I saw this one video. I had to click it. It was the lovely people at Watch Mojo, which
Not a sponsor.
not a sponsor.
Now or
Or they
ever,
can
probably.
No, which I love and hate their content because I love top 10 lists.
Same.
Same.
But man, do they like when you do those like once a day for like 12 years? You begin to run out of ideas.
Yeah,
but they did top 10 underappreciated rock bands. It was like Deep Purple,
ZZ Top.
God, what was there? Was other ones that
CCR was one.
Creedence Clearwater.
Soundgarden was an honorable mention.
What? But
yeah,
but those are like the most popular.
I mean, like
the Kinks were number one. Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, who's making this fucking list? What in what universe are like? Do they make like Beatles money? No.
Like the 16-year-old cousin of one of the people who works there is like, hey, name some rock bands, and if you don't, if I'll name some, if you've never heard of them, raise your hand.
That's what it is. I'm going to name some rock bands. Have you heard of them? No, we'll put them on the list.
We were like joking around. It's like number one's going to be like the fucking Beatles or something.
or honestly, I was half expecting the Beach Boys,
the Rolling Who, the Stone. What Stones?
or
never heard of them. The Who? Yeah, that's what I said.
Because like on the whole list, there's like maybe like 2 or 3 that'd be like, okay, when have you heard of these guys in conversation? Like what was 3 or 2 the violent films?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. There were some that were like some like obscure indie rock groups that I've never heard of in my life.
Well, the whole list should have been that.
Huh?
The whole list should have been that.
Exactly. But the reason I clicked on the fucking video was ZZ Top.
That was a thumbnail.
But like, there were like the thing is this band had so many hits.
Yeah,
it freaking owned the '80s with those goddamn videos of the freaking car and the girls.
Yeah,
and the spinning guitar bits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the spinning guitar.
Yeah,
yeah,
who doesn't see 3 guys with super long beards playing guitars and immediately
it was
2 with long beards?
2 guys with long beards. 1 guy whose last name was Beard, but he had a mustache.
Yeah, but it's 3 guys playing guitars.
Yeah,
2 with very long beards. That's ZZ Top.
It's ZZ Top.
It's just
like I was like I'm surprised like a band like Rush wasn't on there. Like at this point, it's like, come on, come on here.
So John Travolta wakes up, and
John Travolta does wake up,
and his not wife is not there, and so he's like, he gets his boys, his gangsters, and they show up at the hospital. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And she's like, my job, you dumbass. And he's like, okay, that's my B. And so they leave.
Sorry, I'm just so jealous when you go to attend to somebody who's missing half a face.
And so he's like, lies, deception, and start to feel like a real marriage. Because, there's that 30-year period where everyone who was married hated it and wanted to make sure everyone knew they hated it. Because apparently marriage is bad. It was the joke. I don't know.
Or it was because they were deeply unhappy, and instead of actually interrogating their feelings, they decided to project outward and because like groups. In a puritanical society, divorce was seen as a sin, so you're just sort of left to wallow and fester in your own misery, and as you just sort of grew apart and became slowly stagnant, and then you had side pieces on the side, but you didn't, which was still more consumable than having a divorce.
I told you, it's like
but that only applies to men.
Yeah.
Because if it's the woman, she's automatically a slut.
Actually, that's a pretty neat way to tell the generational divide, because the divide stops where it goes from, ha ha, I hate my wife, isn't that funny? To, ha ha, I want to kill myself, isn't that funny? Because that's a lot of that's like the modern hack joke.
Yeah, like, I mean, with the popularity of the later Bo Burnham specials and
I haven't seen the new one.
I heard nothing but good things.
Everyone seems to love it. I mean, I love Bo Burnham.
One of my favorites, probably my favorite comedian right now, Daniel Sloss. You should check him out. He's a Scottish dude. Fucking hilarious. But the ends of his shows will fuck you up.
It's fair. I've been on like the guys from Letterkenny, 2 of them. There's Mark Forward, who plays the coach, and then K. Trevor Wilson, who's Squirrely Dan. And they're fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And Mark Forward stuff, you feel like he's on the show. You don't feel like he's playing a character when you watch his stand-up. After you watch his stand-up, you're like, no, they just started filming him, and he just started talking. That's just him. and it's really good.
God, I need to finish that show.
It's a good time. So Travolta realizes something is wrong, but they have to go to the funeral to the FBI director who he killed. And he's like, where's the daughter? And he's like, I wish I knew, because, we're going to lean into bad parenting as the cover story. And he's like, yeah, whatever. And while they're doing that, Cage, excuse me, is preparing for the showdown by praying at a chapel with doves and seagulls and pigeons. There's several types of birds.
All kinds of birds this go around.
Yeah.
The bird budget was in so many.
So many birds. Because it is the word, after all.
Yeah.
We got pigeons, we got peacocks, we got parrots, we got squabs, we got squibs, we got big bird.
You may be stretching a little bit.
No, there are all those birds. Bird is the word, Frank.
Particularly Big Bird.
You're like a bunch of emus
because he's big and he's a bird.
In the church. Just
an ostrich.
I particularly love the ostrich welding machine guns. That's a nice touch.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't think he'd be a good henchman, but he really is.
Like an emu akimbo just there.
Like it's just actually they tear one guy's face off and just the emu neck shoots out of the head.
The samurai sword welding emus were a pretty nice touch.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, we actually watched the director's cut
because that sounds like like late 90s cash grabs on like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles idea, where it's just like emus that are samurais for some reason.
Yeah.
Samaroos.
Well, there was a
Samaroos coming to WB this fall at 8:00 on Wednesday.
I mean, this was before your time, but there are a lot of those types of shows.
Oh yeah,
like SWAT Cats,
Street Sharks.
Radioactive Biker Mice from Mars.
Yep.
I had all those action figures.
Yeah.
That led into Mummies Alive.
Oh, fuck.
Which I watched every morning during second grade while enjoying my honeycomb cereal.
You watch it at like 6:30 when you're getting ready for school.
Mummies Alive.
See, okay, Mummy's Alive.
Oh, God.
Let me school you on this 90s, Jim.
Yes, do that.
Because, there's this kid who goes through this ancient Egyptian museum and he wakes up these mummies, right? But also, it just so happens that they're very politically correct, racially diverse mummies. You have the dude mummy, you have the girl mummy, you have the nerd mummy, you also have the black mummy.
I know what this is now. Never mind.
And the black mummy had one arm.
Oh,
but he got an extra arm when he went into battle.
I had some of those toys too.
That's good stuff. Yeah.
I remember this.
I liked the Street Sharks toys because they had the movable mouths and they were on roller skates.
What was the dinosaur version of that?
Oh,
I had those.
I don't remember the dinosaur version.
It was the same exact show.
Can we write down best toys that we grew up with as an episode?
Oh yeah, for sure. Also, there was a parody comic that I have several of at the shop from 1987 and 86, 87 called Adolescent Radioactive Black Belt Hamsters. And that ran for several years.
What did you say to me, and why do I not have this in my life? That sounded amazing.
Oh, no, it came out right after Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles got popular.
Yeah, it was the parody series. I've got some. I'll dig them out and send you pictures.
It was also a black and white indie comic.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Mattel.
So the emus and John Travolta and Nick Cage start fighting in a church, right? Yeah. There's a gunfight, and then it ends. It doesn't end. It goes to a standoff.
Oh, that was awesome
because they grab the wife, and she's a hostage. And so Cage is pointing a gun at the henchmen, and the henchmen are pointing a gun at Cage, and then Gina Gershon shows up pointing guns. It's just like a quintuple standoff with guns, and then everybody starts shooting, and Gina Gershon dies, and she lands on top of Cage. And she's like, take care of our son. And his reaction is my favorite thing. The whole fucking movie. Because she's laying there dying on his ass. And she's like, take care of our son. And he looks at her. And I'm going to deliver his line with the exact same emphasis and the exact word, the verbiage. This is a quote. Pat, tell me, take care of our kid. Go.
Yep.
Say, take care of our kid.
Take care of our kid.
Yeah.
He just
and that's it.
That's it. That's perfect.
That's not
perfect delivery.
Shoves her off.
That is spot on. And the look on his face as well was almost just gross. Get off of me.
Yeah.
Pure contempt.
Well,
ew.
Well,
who are you?
you have to realize his wife was staring right at him at the time with this chick laying on him talking about our son.
Granted, I know they've had their differences in the past, but they did have that small little touching moment earlier when he just like legit goes, you know, after today, Sean Archer's off your back for good or whatever.
Yeah, he's going to let him run.
Like, just delivers a line, like you said, and has this look like he just smelled a fucking fart.
To be fair, he was wearing a nice suit and she was getting blood all over it.
It wasn't as suit at the beginning of the movie. What didn't matter about that?
What I imagine is just like just off screen, his wife just has her hands on her hips, like, "Who is she?" And he's just like, "I don't know this bitch." It's like,
who the fuck? What the fuck does she mean, kid? You have.
Meanwhile, they have somehow found and scooped up the daughter as well.
From Drag Jack Nicholson, apparently. Which is now my headcanon. Like that's what it is.
That's our headcanon.
That's totally.
And so she shows up and she's real confused, and then the shooting starts. And Nick Cage like shoves her down some fucking stairs.
Oh yeah, and that bitch hits every step of the way down.
She would have been like dead IRL. Like her neck would be broken in all the places.
She hit every step on the way down.
It was and it was a curved staircase.
In this movie,
like it was like a 3-turn staircase. Like it was almost a square, and she just pump.
No, actually, what we don't see the leading scene was a spiral staircase. She's like,
I want like the Zucker cut of this, where it's just 5 minutes of her falling down steps.
Turns into a water slide.
different types of steps that each scene cut.
Like it becomes like a whole slap scene. Like she stands up at one point, and like a page boy is like, "What's happening?" The door flies open and knocks her back down the steps. And she hits like a plane of glass being held by two preachers. And like someone like drops a base on her head, busts through like an aquarium,
like full fucking Looney Tunes. Oh, that'd be great. So she falls down the steps like a dumbass. And
stupid dumbass.
How dare she get shoved? Stupid kids.
You stupid dumb.
Stupid fucking kids. So Cage and Travolta are still fighting because I don't know if you picked up on this. They don't like each other very much.
No.
And so
we forgot to say spoilers at the beginning of the podcast.
Oh no! So they get down there.
Yeah, for like a 20-year-old.
And Cage has Travolta in like a fucking sleeper with a machine gun. And he says this several times in the movie, but the delivery of "die" is just my favorite. And so he screams it, and then the daughter picks up the gun, like, "Oh no, bad guys killing my dad." And it's like, shoot him. And he's like, "Don't shoot me, I'm your dad. Shoot him."
Yeah, his voice box is fucked at this point. He's actually sounding like John Travolta.
They both sound like Travolta.
What I thought was funny is that one scene's like, "Don't listen to him, man. Don't just shoot." And I'm just like, shoot with your heart, baby.
And so she fires and just clips Nick Cage.
Also,
Good Cage.
Same spot he got shot in Con Air and didn't fucking blink.
That's true. That left arm keeps taking bullets.
He got hit in this one. He's like, ah!
Well, I mean, he's actually Travolta, so he's not. Tough guy Nick Cage.
And he'd already taken a shot to the ribs that had been beat to hell after the fact, because during that fight, Travolta just keeps hitting him right in the ribs where they got shot.
I mean, he's mentioned already that he's very tired.
Yeah, he's very tired. And so as soon as he gets shot, evil Travolta grabs the daughter, puts a gun to her head, licks the side of her face.
Which was really uncomfortable. I did not like
it. It was bad. And then she awkwardly gets the butterfly knife that was poorly made, jabs it right in Travolta's thigh, and twists like he told her to.
Chekhov's gun.
And Chekhov's knife.
Absolutely, yeah.
Probably hit like a major artery, and he should have bled out pretty quickly, but he doesn't. So he runs off, shoots this dude with an Uzi in a boat.
He launches lots of dudes with the Uzi on the way to that boat.
There's one guy
the dude in the
said,
boat.
"Fuck you" in particular.
Like he could have just like
that is true.
Shoved his ass off the boat. Nah, he just like emptied a fucking clip.
And like
he lifted 3 feet in the air.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Travolta shooting from the high ground down into this guy, and the dude still jumps 3 feet and off the boat after he gets hit.
That is John Woo physics right there.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I loved it.
So he takes the boat. Cage grabs another boat, and they have a boat war straight out of.
But you forget, like when after
Temple of Doom.
Sailing away, evil Travolta Evil Cage. My mind is much at this point. He shoots at the boathouse. There's like all these flammable tanks. The bitch blows up like a goddamn bomb.
The first explosion in the movie that makes sense.
Because he shot things that said flammable on them.
Like, I get that.
And I just love how he's like knocking, like he's like knocks this old lady out the way, this old man. It's like he's just pushing everybody out of the way. He's like,
oh no! He's not pushing people. He's shooting people out of the way as he's running.
Like when they
it's not even giving them
the good guy. The good Cage is shoving.
No, face Cage is pushing people out of the way.
It's like when fucking heel Travolta rolls up on that police boat and he's like forever away and just empties an Uzi through and just mows them all the fuck down.
Yeah,
good guys have no aim in this movie.
Well, how the fuck did he aim that well with a submachine gun from 100 yards away and he kills like 8 cops?
Liquefied all of them.
Is the stupidest.
And then launches their fucking boat through the cop boat.
Yeah, he launches Good Cage's boat through the cop boat in the air on fire with a gas leak.
Yeah. And just the cop boat goes kabloom.
And they pass under 2 different piers where they almost hit like their heads on shit, but they manage to fall just in time. And they're still doing their last crusade Indiana Jones boat war, just back and forth and back and forth.
Travolta's got a fucking anchor swinging it, and then like Travolta like falls off and has a chain he's holding on to, getting dragged by the boat.
Yeah, because there's literally
skiing.
Because I was mentioning that earlier, was like it's a very clear stunt double. Yeah. It's like clinging for dear life on the side of this boat with like this rickety ass chain.
He clearly got several concussions.
Like he's tumbling end over end and manages to stand up with his bare feet on the water. And it's like impressive, but also scary as fuck.
Yeah. Even though those should have been like he was his bare feet, but in the movie those would have been shoes.
Yeah.
And so they fight on the boat because one boat goes boom, a big explosion again.
Yeah, just it veers off and just explodes off the side.
Every vehicle explodes eventually.
Yeah. So their final boat, they hit a ramp or something, get launched through the fucking air, and the boat is behind them in the air, lands in the water, engine side down, and still somehow goes kablooey. Just explosions. And so they keep fucking fighting, and Cage gets a harpoon gun. Good Cage gets a harpoon gun and tries to fire it, but Travolta's holding it, somehow preventing it from firing. He's like, hey, every time you look at the mirror, you're going to see my face. And he starts cutting the Travolta face, but on the edges, roughly where they were going to cut for the surgery anyway.
Yeah.
So nothing happens. It makes him look stupid. And then the harpoon, like, he goes, and he starts singing the song, was like dying again, and he dies. Easy. And then the FBI show up and they're like, Archer, are you okay? And he's like, what did you call me? That's me.
They said my name.
That's my name. And so they load him in the ambulance next to the dead body of Travolta Cage, and he takes the wedding ring off his finger. And then they're like, okay, flash forward. And the daughter and the wife are at home, and you see Travolta. It's clearly Travolta through the shadows. Like, there's no mistaking them at all. But they're trying to play it off.
Back and everything.
Who is this visitor on a Sunday afternoon?
He walks in and is like, yeah, it's me. And then he touches their faces.
Oh, God.
Because why not?
Like a dipshit.
And then he's like, hey, I got to ask you guys a question. Would you mind if we adopted this 5-year-old who might just be the son of my greatest mortal enemy who put us all through severely traumatic things recently?
Yeah, because that kid got all the drama. So, like, he's going to have he has a new son and an old daughter who are just completely fucking emotionally shattered for the last 24 hours.
Olivia Newton-John got him through it.
Yeah. And so, like, and of course, they like, well, okay. And then they touch the kid's face all weird, too. And he's like, he's accepted. But, like, the therapy bills for this family. Because, like, Travolta was already fucked up because his kid was dead and he was just being a workaholic. And then the wife, she was fucked up because the kid was dead. And then also she spent a week living with not Travolta, and she phrased like, we live together as man and wife. What she was saying is, yeah, no, we fucked. But she, like, here's the part I really don't like, is she, like, said it in a way that was, like, apologizing. Like, I'm sorry this man with your face had sex with me and deflowered me from your wonderful penis. Like, it felt like she was...
I didn't get that she was apologizing. It was more like she was accusing him of that was his fault.
No, to me, it sounded like she was saying, hey, sorry, I let some other dude fuck me. I didn't like the tone of it. but that's going to be a problem for her.
Well, yeah. Obviously, rape by fraud, like that's a whole thing to unpack.
It's like
this man you thought was your.
It's terrible, but her reaction was, we've had sex, right? And I didn't like that.
I don't know. I kind of saw that as her just like coming to terms with the fact it's setting in like, oh my God, that's Castor. And it's like all coming at her at once, almost. I didn't really.
I guess I didn't get that sense. I thought that could have been.
It all took a lot of different things. For
I tell you, it's like a fucking onion. There's layers to it. There's a story here.
That one I feel like could have been more overt.
This is a storybook that is on fire.
And then the daughter's going to have trauma though because she got sexually assaulted by Danny Masterson.
She got sexually assaulted by a man who thought was her father.
After shooting the man who was her father, but looked like the dude who killed her little brother. It's like the therapy bills on this family.
And the little boy who just was plucked from his family, he doesn't know what happened to him. He just these strangers.
Yeah, he'll probably be fine.
Yeah, because you don't remember trauma after a certain age.
God, I want to see the Charlie Day cork board for this movie because it's fucking bananas.
Yeah.
Also, me being a little nitpicky asshole again. The part at the end fight, like literally right before like the harpooning happened. The voice box was fucked up on a face cage.
Yeah.
And so he's supposed to sound like John Travolta. When John Travolta was beating the shit out of him, obvious Cage screams.
Yeah.
Gotta get the audio of Travolta scream.
I did like how they used the Wilhelm scream during the Prison Break scene.
Yeah, when he shot the foot.
Yeah.
Also, there's a bit I forgot in the prison escape where Face Cage throws a bottle of sulfuric acid in the mirror, pops it with and then both guards just like erupt into flames. So like they're melting like the Wicked Witch.
Basically, what we're saying is this movie's batshit insane. If you haven't seen it, you need to go watch that shit because it's a good time.
If by some chance you hadn't seen it and just listened to this like cockamamie recollection of it,
even though we watched it literally 2 hours ago. But you know what, guys? I want to say real quick, we've done really well. Yeah, because we're now at hour 50 total.
Oh wow!
Like just for raw recording. So we did 2 hours, with the exception of like the first 10 minutes and the side of the music thing, which was like 7. We've done like an hour 40 on the movie.
Hell
that's good for us. I think that's our best ratio.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Frank.
I told you, you're gonna stay on the fucking movie.
Like Frank, with just like this firm, fatherly hand, just like
just over. He's been in the corner the whole time, just glaring at me.
I'm sitting here with my arms crossed across my chest, glaring at them menacingly if they start veering off course.
We're gonna get a big cardboard cutout of just angry Frank in his postman uniform. Like, stay on topic.
That could probably make that happen.
Considering where I work, that is a possibility.
I'm expecting that caricature from Pat anytime now.
Yeah, you have to draw that, Pat. But so that's...
I love this movie.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Everything explodes.
Yeah, it really does. Everything goes boom.
Even things that shouldn't.
Many things that shouldn't explode.
See,
That's turned into just fucking feathers at one point.
See, I was going to say this movie would have gotten 5 stars if when the evil Cage got shot with the harpoon gun, he would have exploded when the face flew off like perfectly and just landed back on his.
That would have been
great. I can't help but wonder though what this movie would have been like if someone other than Travolta had played that role.
Well, apparently, from what I've read, this movie was sitting on a shelf for like 7 years before it hit theaters, before it was actually made.
Oh, yeah.
And it was originally, they wanted Schwarzenegger and Stallone.
Yeah, that would have been a hell of a movie.
There were a few other combos we could have had, other than Sylvester and Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger. We could have had Harrison Ford and Michael Douglas.
That would have been awful.
Oh.
Bruce Willis and Alec Baldwin.
Oh, what?
Oh,
I don't like
I don't.
any of that.
I'm not a fan of that.
Al Pacino and Robert De Niro.
Yeah, sure,
honestly, that's too obvious.
That needs some rewrites.
They could do that
but-
now on Netflix. Just get the Irishman technology.
Yeah.
No surgery required.
Just,
but like,
I mean,
like
how
young Robert
different are
De
they
Niro,
really?
but he's moving like an old man.
and lastly, we also could have had John Claude Van Damme and Steven Seagal.
Oh, God. That's like F tier.
There's
all of that.
There's no future technology that would ever make me believe that they could shave off the 400 pounds from Seagal to make him look like Van Damme. That shit's not happening this century. Okay, you need space alien tech. The same fucking aliens that touch your face, like human face touch. They're the ones who can remove the chunk from Seagal.
Okay,
and I say that as a fat guy, but fuck Steven Seagal. There's no way that I would ever believe that would happen. Ever.
Okay.
Not once.
Speaking of the fat changing from Cage and Stallone, I like how they made Stallone from Travolta. I like how they made Travolta make fun of his own body and face. Yeah, this stupid chin and his fat body.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I read like two different accounts there. It was weird. I read one where Travolta was like, "Hey, it's a jab at me," but I also read that like that was he put that in. So
yeah,
weird. I don't know.
My guess is it was a jab at him, and then he tried to spin it like, "No, I put that in because I'm very self-aware."
He does have a ridiculous chin. I feel like
a
a
horrible
little baby
chin.
turd is going to squeak
Yeah,
out.
it's not good.
I mean, it's a butt chin. I mean, it's like a Tonka truck ass on his face.
It's like we could Photoshop that chin and put it on the ass of a Pixar mom.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah.
I think we got to end on that.
Fuck.
God damn.
So
like our next T-shirt is just a mom from Onward, but it has John Travolta's chin over her butt.
No, it's not.
No,
that's not going to be a thing.
No, I don't want anything like that to exist. No.
We will sell negative numbers of like people will return their other shirts. Like, well, I don't like this. I'm never.
I think John would buy a pity one.
Well, I think that'll do it for tonight because we've been going for over 2 hours, and it is 12:30.
Hooray
on
us.
a Monday night.
Yeah.
So,
I return to work tomorrow after not being there for 9 whole days.
Oh, you're gonna have a shit day,
Yeah,
sir.
I'm not looking forward to it. But it's been a good break. I will say that.
We want to thank everyone for listening so far. We hope you've enjoyed us actually talking about the movie. And yes, thank you, Postman Frank.
Yeah, this is all Frank.
Keeping us on track. We hope to make this a regular style, and then for like our uncaged episodes, that's where it just evolves into random bullshit.
Yeah, consider this episode the soft reboot.
Yeah,
great.
Like again, in our defense, though, there were several episodes in a row where we did other stuff. You know, and I said this last time. So we're relearning how to do the thing that we started off doing really well.
You know, it's funny. It's almost as if I've been saying this from the start.
I don't remember that.
I feel like that's already been said on here.
I don't remember any of that.
Yeah, you can't gaslight me because I was there for the whole time. I have recordings of it, so it's almost as if someone who's had to learn on the fly how to host a show in a pandemic. What it's like to gotta figure out what the show's like. Also, you shot me in the neck with a gun.
I did shoot you in the neck with a dart gun.
This happened off the show, but that still happened.
So, okay, what happened was we have these 2 Nerf guns at the shop, right? And we were just fucking around, and he did like the pointing the finger guns at me, like we always do in the show, and yeah, like that. There you go. Yeah, we're all pointing guns. Okay. And we have like a little Nerf gun, right? And there's 2 of them, and I pull them out. I'm like, haha, now I win. And one of them I knew wasn't cocked because I didn't use it last. And the other one was one that Liz had used previously. And it, unfortunately, had been cocked. So I'm just holding it normally, right? And I don't think that there's anything to worry about holding it tightly with the trigger. And it fires. And hits Pat right in the neck.
Oh, you got shot with a screaming Mimi?
He got shot, and it left a red welt. And I apologize profusely. and gave him one of his comics for free.
Yep.
Yeah. So that happened.
Those are some pretty rad Nerf guns.
They are pretty sweet, aren't they?
Technology has definitely advanced since I had them when I was a kid.
It really is Nerf or nothing. Not a sponsor, but you could be.
I mean, once they started bringing swords and shit into it, I'm like, oh, fuck.
And it could be worse. When I was a kid, me and my cousins, who were bloodthirsty animals, we would replace the suction cups on the end of these darts with push pins, and we called them scorpion rounds.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I've heard tell of that, but also fuck that.
Yeah, we were
You
fucked
guys
up.
are all pussies. We played with Daisy BB guns, so we were actually shooting basically live rounds.
Yeah, Frank was like, y'all are pussies. We just threw rocks at each other.
I'll
We
have you know
that I was flying lead at our head.
I mean, I've been shot with a BB gun. It's not fun.
No, it's,
Yeah, same.
No, it's not. I have a couple of friends that still have BBs in them.
Oh, I can imagine. I'd rather be shot with a paintball.
Daisy guns are for bitches. Red Riders where it's at.
like Frank, they were doing.
Daisy make Red Rider?
I don't know. Red Rider's the best brand.
Like Frank was doing like the proto version of John Woo movies with fucking BB guns. It's like just tumbling over the air with their like boxcar racer, just like.
Well, I mean, back in the 20s.
Single cock BB, Daisy BB gun. I can freaking rifleman down the street. Well, clear range.
To be fair, back in the 1910s when he was a kid, there's not a lot to do.
Was that before or after you slid down the back of a brontosaurus?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I had one of those guns. Like, I didn't, like, play with long darts or anything.
Yeah, no, I didn't play with lawn darts. I
Also-
still have my Red Rider, actually.
I do too.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Also, can we talk about when the clapper was invented again?
Hey, still fucking mad.
You were there.
I was there. I do remember.
In
Still-
1984.
Still fucking mad.
The only one was that we got to see the clapper debut.
By someone who liked to clap their hands.
I remember saying
And
that.
love
Like, hey,
electricity.
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That shit never works.
Yeah, the clapper that came out the same time as the iPad.
Yeah, 1984 when gonorrhea was invented.
Fucking
Oh, we gotta cut it. We gotta.
yeah. All right, we're done. We're done. Oh God. All right. Plugs. That's the thing we do at this point. Jonathan, tell the people without fucking up your Twitter handle where they can find you as I stare angrily in your general direction.
My name is JD and the Smoldering Asses. You can follow me on Twitter at JONIIBOI24 and John Notes at 12 on Letterboxd. Fuck y'all.
We're gonna get them one day.
didn't
That was
get
good.
in there,
That was
Ron.
good. Cannon.
I use the Smoldering Asses to throw y'all off.
I mean, it worked.
I'm that Cannon Guy. You can find me at that Cannon Guy on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd.
Oh, you can follow me, Patrick, at John Lost His Name on Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, and also do us a favor, check out the AYC8 side of things on our feed. If you listen to this the week it comes out on Monday, we release episode 217, which is where Colt and Wenzel, they break down all the happenings from E3 2021, going over all the conferences, all the games, giving their opinions on what was their favorite, and how was E3's big return after a year away.
It is a much more professionally done podcast. It's true, but we're catching up. We're gonna be there, and we have merch though. Yeah, which you can find at tpublic.com/user/caging-greatness. Frank, do you want people to find you?
I have an Instagram at Swarley1145, but once again, I almost never post anything, so it's probably a boring follow.
Yeah.
Knock yourselves out.
Yeah,
just in case you want to inflate your numbers.
They
And
can just
inflate Frank's numbers.
They just listen to them on here.
I'll check out pictures of Farkle.
Yeah, no, I love Farkle.
Yes.
Also, if we
torpedo
bully
with
Frank,
legs.
we can get him to start a letterbox. So you can follow him there.
Yeah, no, we should do that. Yeah, we're gonna get them to do that. Letterbox is fun.
Where we review our movies.
I guess I could do that.
Yeah, you should do that. And I am, of course, Captain Jimmy, or Justin, if you prefer, if you're nasty. And you can find me at Captain Shimmy's Kinda Art, Captain Shimmy's Almost Music. That was a Janet Jackson reference.
That's so confusing.
Nasty. I understood that reference.
How?
I don't think so.
Fucking-
I think you're lying.
Fucking The Clapper 2001. Fuck you.
I happen to know that one song by Janet Jackson, okay?
Yeah, John first learned about Janet Jackson when her titty popped up on the TV 2 years after the clapper was invented.
Honestly, for the first part, you're probably not wrong. Why are we seeing this woman's boob?
And why was her career unfairly ruined after that?
I know, right? It was like, fuck, because it was all Justin Timberlake's fault. Because he's an asshole. Y'all remember when he fucking made that Man in the Woods album and it sucked fucking dick?
Not familiar, no.
No, I ain't got nothing.
Yeah, that's why. I haven't heard of it because it sucked ass.
I do.
The country album.
Oh, that's terrible. I've got the 2020 experience. I enjoy that album. So anyway, I love that song. Unabashedly, I was telling somebody at the shop today, I do not have guilty pleasures because I don't feel bad about any of the shit I like. I like the shit I like, and if somebody has a problem with it, fuck them. It's not my problem.
I definitely agree. I'm definitely removing the mindset of quote guilty pleasure now, because like if you enjoy it and it brings you genuine pleasure, then why feel bad about it?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, obviously, as long as it's not hurting other people.
Yeah,
like musical and movie taste.
Yeah, I have some seriously questionable taste in movies and music at times, but I like it.
I mean, I like what I like.
No one can take that from me, Frank.
No,
not a one.
So you can find me at Captain Chimmy's Kind of Art or Captain Chimmy's Almost Music or at the comic strip where I am 6 days a week. I'm always there. I will sell you some comics if you want. But if you just want to come and hang out and just walk around and loiter, don't do that shit. Because it's a place of business.
Buy some shit or get out.
Buy shit or get out.
Buy something or leave.
You're going to get a Nerf dart in your neck.
And if Farkle is there, don't be scared when you
I really do. I'm concerned when Farkle is there because I'm just waiting on somebody to open the door, get barked at, and then I'm getting fucking sued. It's legitimately concerning. That's why I'm always on edge when Farkle's there.
Yeah,
I really don't like it. It's not fun.
And just bring in your dog.
No, don't do that. Don't do that shit.
He's freaking insane with the doorbell noise.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get sued one day, and I'm going to pass that on to you. Please don't bring your dogs in. That is not fun.
Unless your dogs are cool.
Yeah, like if your dog's chill, maybe.
He is not chill.
But
Farkle's cool though. Farkle's allowed to come in the shop.
Farkle's very cool, but I don't with winter's better because the doors are staying open. But I'm telling every time he barks, somebody's like terrified, and I hate it. It gives me anxiety.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can find me at the shop.
You did like when he headbutted that kid, though.
I mean, don't say that. Don't put that out there.
Good thing we don't shit around here.
I felt bad for the kid.
Don't get in the dog's face. Don't get in the dog's face.
Yeah.
Smash it.
Wait, what did Otto think of the movie?
Kid's face.
Did we tell the world what Otto thought of the movie?
Otto loved the movie.
I
really.
love the movie.
So yeah. Thank you for listening to this episode. That was like 85% about the movie.
Yep.
And hopefully we can keep generally that area of percentage.
Look, I can't come every week.
I don't.
Cut to the next
shooting over
here. Cut to the outro.
TM.
Yeah.
Cut to the outro where it's just Frank like going about his business and he gets bonked over the head with a musical instrument and he's just here all the time. So Frank, we're talking about the sequel to
what happened? Why am I here?
We're talking about
why does my head hurt?
I forgot there's a violin down here too. So.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Nice. I've got one at home.
I wonder what sound that makes when it gets hit over Cannon's head.
There's only one way to find out.
Okay. We're actually done now. Thank you all so much, all two of you, for still listening. One of whom, of course, will be Frank. Frank, thank you for listening to this episode.
As it was happening.
Here's your shout. No, he'll listen to it when it comes out, too, as your shout out, Frank. And
I am a sucker for a shout out. I really am.
Yeah, I know.
Your in-person shout out.
And on the schedule, just as a quick preview for next week.
Next week.
Next week on the schedule, we have National Treasure.
Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah. And then the week after that will be a birthday special for our boy Pat.
Yay!
So we hope to have you guys join us there, and we'll see you later on.
Catch you on the flippity flop.
Good night, everybody.
I shitted.
Oh, man. Quit pooping yourself.
Good night, Babs.
Good night, Babs.